Hello and welcome to Dash 28 Live. I'm Mike Adkins, and what we have for you here today is, I guess, the Kings of War version of the Ashes. You guys were telling me.
Yeah. Oh yeah!
Oh yeah!
Can we have the music
that
was cool.
We have the current number one in the UK, Dan King, and the current number one in Australia, Jeff Traish, playing a game of Kill for the third round of Call to Arms. Morning, guys, or evening, I guess, for Jeff.
Yes, evening over here.
And with me here, commentating on the match, I've got Jonathan Fox, Elliot Moorish, and Patrick Zoro Allen, all the way from the early land of Texas, up even earlier than me. Thanks for being here, Pat.
Of course.
Anyway, we're really looking forward to this match. We think it's going to be good. We've been watching you guys deploy, and we think that this is going to be really interesting. So I'm going to jump right into the lists really quick, so we can go through those, and then we'll show everybody the room. So I'm going to start with Dan's list. So Dan, if you could talk us through what you're taking.
Yes. So, do you want me to just specifically go over the list first, and then detail why and such?
However you want to do it.
I'll do that. Okay. So I've got Mounted Sons. 6 regiments of Mounted Sons. They've all got stealthy. One of them has Strider. I've got 3 regiments of Snow Foxes. That's it for that page. Okay, I've got three Mages Conclaves, all with the elite Famuluses. A Mages with Inspiring Talisman. Scald with the Loot, and Magnild of the Fallen. Yeah. So if you're interested in hearing a bit more about the list, so basically, I've always liked Varangur. I started the year off with Undead, did well with them. Moved on to Dwarves, did well with them. So for this tournament, I was thinking, let's try with Varangur, because I know the guys are doing the best of race thing. So I thought, well, okay, well, if I can stick with Varangur, hopefully, maybe every game, but at least through the majority of it, try and get that best of race. That's my hope, at least. And so we'll give that a go. Now, I played against Drew a few weeks back, and he used a very popular list from Australia, the Abyssal Dwarf War Engine list. Now, seeing as I'm playing an Australian player, I thought to myself, well, he's not known for playing these lists, but you never know. So everything has stealthy or individual in the entire army. Excellent. Now
you're a bad man, Dan. You're a bad man.
Well, you say that, but my last game was against a really nice guy, but he had no shooting in his army, and I had an entire stealthy Varangur army, or mostly stealthy army. So it didn't work at all in the last game. It might do in this one. We'll see.
All right, well, we will see. So now I'm going to jump over to Jeff's list, and we will see whether your prediction will pay off in terms of whether Stealthy is going to do any good in this match. Bring up Jeff's list. All right, Jeff.
Okay. Got 2 regiments of the Black Souls, more for unlocks, good unit strength, etc. Not so much a big thing in kill. Hunting packs for the chaff. And then the main hitters are the Lesser Obsidian Golems and the Abyssal Grotesques. As Dan picked it, 3 Anchor Heavy Mortars. Yeah, I must say, Kill's not normally my favourite one. I'm more known as a scenario player. And I tend to not take individuals or war machines. So, a bit out of my comfort zone, but I thought this would be a better one for kill, because I usually don't score that high on the kills in my games. I tend to win by a winning scenario. But anyway, 3 Hex Casters, they don't care about the stealth, so that's one good thing. And then the 3 Abyssal Half-Breed Champions. Give me a little bit of movement around. I've only got a couple of items, a blade of slashing on one of them and the heal D2 and inspiring talisman on one of the hexcasters.
All right. Awesome. Thank you for walking us through that. Now I'm going to drop over to your universal battle room that you've got set up, and we can walk through the deployment. Okay, so first, this is the terrain that you guys have set up. Are you guys what terrain heights are you guys playing with?
So we're going with the Australian standard alley. It's not one I've used before. So all the forests are impassable height 9. Mostly so if you're on a hill with a big flying thing, you can't see over. It's fine with me. Not that we've got any big flyers, but it's just for standard, isn't it, Jeff?
Yeah, we weren't worried which way we went with that.
Yeah, we've gone for height 1 for the field and the pond, height 3 for the walls, and height 3 for the hills.
Okay, great. And since we're playing the modified Northern King's Kill, are these little stones scattered around the table your objective markers?
Yeah, we slap them down. I intend to ignore them till maybe turn 6 or 7.
Sure.
We'll wait to see what's left at the end of the game.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the big rocks on the top right is impassable, correct?
Yeah, impassable height 9.
Yes.
Not that any of us were ever going to come within 6 inches of it.
Right. Okay, now to go through the your deployments, it looks like that's Jeff's units on the top of the screen there. Jeff, could you walk us through how you've deployed starting on the left?
Okay. Well, at the back, I've got Mastiffs sitting behind the Grotesques and then Half-Breed Champion in front. With the 2 Golem units with the Inspiring Hexcaster in between. Then one of the regiments of Black Souls, followed by another Hexcaster and Abyssal Champ. And then the next unit of Abyssal Grotesques with the Mastiffs behind. Another Hexcaster, another Half-Breed Champ, and probably I think it was one of my first deployments was the regiment over in the pond, but when I saw he was swinging all the way to the left, I could see he's just going to ignore one side, so I started packing over on the left to meet him. And then the war machines, just trying to give myself some avenue, whether they hit or not's another thing, but might get a lucky one here or there.
All right, great, thank you. And Dan, for yours down here at the bottom, starting over at the left.
Yeah, so you can see all the knights, lots of those. There's a scald in between the and there you go, just clicked on it. So Scald's got the loot. Now, when I drunkenly made the army list last night, he actually had the healing charm. However, it occurred to me that if I ended up facing defense 6, oh look, defense 6, I might want the loot. And actually, would heal 3 make a difference? It might have done. I decided loot was a better shout, so he's got the loot. Okay, so more knights. There's some snow foxes behind. Very nice. It was Elliot that made me realise just how useful snow foxes were when I faced him one time.
Best chap in the game, easily.
Pretty good.
Okay, then we've got a Magus with Inspiring. Now that's a little change, and normally, and in fact up until this morning, when I just looked at my drunken list in horror, it normally has the extra lightning, but I realised with 2 sources I just wouldn't be able to inspire the whole line, and I'd really hate to lose some knights to a lucky shot, so I've swapped that out for Inspiring Talisman. It seemed to make sense. Besides, the extra points from the rearrange of those 2 artifacts meant I could then put Strider on a mounted suns, so it seemed fine. 3 Mages Conclaves in the field, and yes, that is entirely pointless. He has no shooting that will be affected by it. It doesn't matter. He can't double move anyway. It's just the centre of the line thing. I did consider putting them behind the wall, but War Engines can't move over walls. May have been better. I don't know. I did it anyway. So we've got some more mounted sun. Oops, I accidentally moved the mounted suns. Snow Fox is behind, and Magnild Fallen, lovely little unit. That really anchors the centre. Now, The reason I've done the deployment like this is in my last game against Undead, I actually did a more central deployment. It was a slightly different list, but it was quite similar. But the trouble was, one, I completely cocked up my mathematics and ended up facing dragons in both flanks, which was horrible. I'm amazed they even pulled a draw out of the damn game. I'm going to be using the ruler today because, yeah, I just can't count those things properly. So this time I thought, well, let's go for the nice hard flank. It tends to work quite well. I can throw them forward. Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Okay, great. Well, thanks so much for walking us through that, guys. Best of luck to both of you, and we will see you back here when you are done with the game.
Yes. Excellent.
Enjoy, guys. Enjoy.
Thanks.
Good luck, guys.
All right. Pat, do you want to swap over and do your deployment critique now? Yep.
So we just heard from them on why they deployed, and now we're going to hear from me on why I think pretty much everything they did was wrong.
What do they know?
To be fair, I think we all.
They're only the best in their
Yeah.
the top couple in their countries, but no, they have pretty good deployment. All right, am I live?
Yep.
All right. For the first thing, I get why Dan deployed over here because he's going to block line of sight. Like a lot of Jeff's units are really tall, so pretty much he only has that narrow window to shoot on that side of the board, and over there, it's like so you're looking at very small fire zones. But I really think that Dan should have deployed at least one Mount of Suns over here. He's completely given up this flank, and he has a speed where it didn't matter. If he went over here, then he could push up. He could have kept Jeff honest, and he would have had a better chance to get it through. These guys are practically out of the game right now, but because speed 4 and they're starting in terrain, so maybe they'll come in and play turn 6, but it'll be a little while. But if you had one Mounted Suns regiment over there, then Jeff would have to decide between facing his mortars to be able to deal with it, or just splitting his shots. And if you had the one over there, that's an easy matchup versus Black Souls. You'll get charge, and even if you don't break first turn, you'll be able to clean up in 2 turns. And then also the Magus Conclaves, as Dan pointed out, it doesn't matter them being in the terrain, both for movement and cover purposes. But I still think here would have been a better option because then you can actually get some shots off at the war machines themselves. Right now, those Magus Conclaves are probably never going to be able to actually see the war machines, so you won't be able to use them for counter battery. And then over on Jeff's side, I do like his deployment. He's got, Abyssal Dwarves, forcing Abyssal Dwarves to castle, it doesn't seem like a bad thing for them, So right now you have an Alpha Strike speedy army, and you're only playing on 4 feet, or maybe even 3 feet of the board actually, and that's just going to be good news for Jeff. So looking at deployment, I think I'd give it over to Jeff over Dan, who won that exchange.
All right, great.
Yeah, I agree. I think the one advantage Dan's got now, I suppose, at least, is that he's almost got more force than he needs on that flank. But it's going to get down to a really nasty brawl over there. I suppose having more units means that he's less likely to give up flanks. He can just clog everything up. But I definitely would have wanted to see a regiment on the right flank at least, just to, like I say, either go for those Black Souls or just to threaten everything on the left.
All right, so Jeff Traish did win the roll to go first and is doing his first turn movement.
That's going to stop my screen sharing.
Yeah. Thanks, Pat. So what do we think? Who do we think has the edge in this match? Based on deployment, we feel like it's Jeff.
I still think Dan.
Yeah, I think on list it's down by a margin. Deployment marginal to Jeff over Dan, but not enough to offset the clear list advantage.
I mean, on the list side, if Dan gets stuck up anywhere or after his guys engage, you're looking at only crush 1, and he only has 1 source of enchant. So
Yeah.
that's a lot of high defense, regen, or defense 6 to chew through.
I mean, what could also happen is, a really swingy roll and it hits with a few of those mortars. You've only got to lose a regiment or 2 of the knights, and it becomes a much harder game.
Yeah.
And
Also
the heavy mortars just do so much damage with that blast D3 +2 and piercing 3 and vicious that like every hit
and shattering and everything.
and shattering, right? So like even just one of them getting lucky, and Dan's got no heal on his side of the table, right? So
I mean, on average, you should hit once per turn with all 3 of them, even on 6s.
right. So still in 2 turns, he could probably pick up one of those regiments mounted suns.
Even if he doesn't kill, he could set it up to allow his weakness, his hexcasters or his invisible champions to pick him up later.
Yeah,
absolutely. And at that point, 3 weakness does become a real thing. We were saying earlier that you should probably ignore the amount of suns with your weakness, but as you say, if you do 5 or 6 damage with a mortar, it becomes a real target then.
Yep.
I think it's a big difference on the mounted suns, that point of nerve they've lost since second edition.
Weakness on the mounted suns, that's something I would not want to see if I was playing with my Soul Reapers, because you can be turned into rubber lances.
Yeah.
So it brought his hexcasters forward by the looks of it.
Yeah, he moved the hexcasters up.
Weakness.
He slid some of the golems over into the woods to make room for the grotesque to get through.
Yeah, I mean, it's the right move not to move up anything else. There's no reason at all to come forward.
So talk to me about those 3 half-breed champions, because I find those things really effective and really useful. Are they going to be good for getting in the way of all the knights and holding them up for a turn?
What I will imagine Jeff will do with that one that he's positioning now next turn is just run down the flank. He's positioned him really nicely there for a 16-inch. Oh no, never mind. He hasn't. He's moved it back, because that's what I would do. I would try and get at least one of them behind the lines just to mess up people's days, really, because then it's done. I do it because I think you can probably run him 16 out of arc.
Yeah, you also want to engage with individuals in the flank. That way, you don't have the domino effect happening.
Yeah.
If Jeff can get a champion into the flank of the mounted suns, all of a sudden, if he wants to countercharge, if he gets stuck, then he's exposing the flank. And if he does kill, then he's just staying in place.
I mean, the only downside is they're only 12-14, so I think even with losing the Thunderous, they should kill him in one go. But it's not guaranteed. So you could hold one up for a whole turn. Although I'd be more tempted to get him round the back and start charging the conclaves or even snow foxes and things like that. If you can take chaff off, that'd be wonderful.
Just cause havoc, as you say. Just get around the back and just cause some fun and games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're so solid in their damage output. I mean, 6 attacks hitting on 3s, crush 2, and vicious. Each one of those is almost as good as Magneto offensively.
I mean, and again, if you do a few pips of damage with the mortars, 2 of those into a regiment can break them fairly easily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And a single regiment countercharging back, if the half-breed gets the first turn, it's only roughly a 50-50 chance of breaking. They should only do 6 to 7 wounds of damage, and then now you need a 7 inspired.
No, you're right. So it's not.
If you're Dan on his turn, what's your first priority to do with Magnil? Is she going after the mortars, or
she's got to go after the mortars, surely?
I would pop fly and go ahead and hit the half-breed champ, probably.
The one on the hill?
Yeah, the problem with the mortars is that there's nowhere to land because you've got those 2 half-breeds.
Mm-hmm.
So if you pop fly and jump after the mortars, then you're going to get hit by two half-breeds and all that weakness if he wants to with the damage as well.
Mm-hmm. And all 3 of those weakness can chip in, and weakness is essentially long-range strain life on Hexcaster.
Yeah. Yeah, the more I look at it, I don't like Dan's deployment at all. He's just going to find himself clogged up by those hills, and we'll see. It'll all depend on how good the first turn shooting is.
Well, so
Yeah.
far, we got two mortars missing.
Yep.
Looks like they're checking line of sight for that
For the
last
last
one.
one. Yep.
I think he's got it. I mean, the thing is, you only have to see a fragment with oranges.
Yeah. Looks like
Yeah.
it.
I think you should be able to see it. We'll see if he can roll a 6. Or if Universal Battle will grant him a 6. However that works.
Oh,
And that's a no.
Yep.
Okay.
that's a shame for him. He could have done with a bit to start with. He's still got the hex casters, but they're it's not quite the same when you're not putting 5 or 6 points of damage on.
Yeah, a big first round of shooting from heavy mortars definitely tips the match in your favor anytime that happens.
Yeah.
I mean, not even like actually, but like also just the mental capacity of being able to do a bunch of damage or 2 wounds. All of a sudden, your opponent is like, "Oh, I need to get in."
Right. Yeah, it's super demoralizing to have not got off the starting line yet and already be taking wounds.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like he's shooting at conclaves with the weakness.
Definitely a good move in the first turn. You don't need
Yeah.
weakness on mounted suns, and 1 and 2 points of damage isn't going to matter this early.
Yeah. The conclaves are. What's the nerve on the conclaves?
I think they're 11,
3,
13.
I think.
Defense 3.
11, 13. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty good targets.
Hmm.
If he gets a few wounds and a lucky waiver, they won't shoot back.
Mhm.
Looks like he's going with.
I think he missed with the other one. Oh, and
Yeah.
he's killed it on the first roll, I think.
That's an 11. Yeah.
Fine.
But-
Fine on the second.
Inspired by Magnilda.
Inspired by Bagnell. Yep.
And he's also got the mages with inspiring talisman there.
Yeah.
Yes,
on the other
yeah.
side. Got it from both sides. All right.
It's interesting that Dan doesn't have any mounted characters. I'm sure it was a
There
points
aren't.
thing.
Oh, there is the Environment. Sorry.
Yeah, the Scald and the mages not having mounts.
Mm.
It saves you about 50 points, but it also means that you're all cat force. You can easily charge out of inspired range.
All right, and that'll bring us to bottom of turn 1. So what's Dan's priority here? He moves up, he gets space. There's something he has to get rid of on this turn. Like what's Dan going to be up to here?
He's got to move up and set engagement, because while Dan does have shooting,
Yeah,
the weakness and the mortars always feel like a ticking clock. Like eventually they're going to hit and delete something.
Yeah.
I think the move has to be here. Throw your snow foxes as far forward as you can, and then move everything up.
Mhm.
You know, you've got to have charges on everything next turn.
Now, do you make it so that the snow foxes are just go ahead and move them up to charge range of Visible Grotesque?
I would. I wouldn't hang back and risk backing up and more shots and more everything. I would just go full health of leather.
It looks like that's what he's going to do. He's
Yeah.
moving his mounted suns just outside of charge range.
Yeah, because I mean, even if you move the snow foxes all the way up and it draws the grotesques out, then the grotesques are out where you can hit them with 2 units of suns on the next turn.
I feel like he doesn't need to stay out of charge range, at least on the very center unit, if he moves the snow fox up. 'Cause I don't see a way that the grotesque will be able to.
No, I suppose he's just thinking why worth risk it
Yeah.
when he's got that extra speed on them.
So we were talking before the broadcast about how these 2 armies were doing in the tournament all together. Elliot, did you have some numbers?
Yeah, so on percentage killed, Varangur are the only army beating undead on any category at the minute. So they're the killiest army. So Dan's brought the killiest army to kill. So I think they are close it now, but they're only just overtaking undead, because undead are just amazing at everything. Hang on, I had it open and I've closed it. I'll tell you again. So they're on an average of 68% of the enemy army killed, where Abyssal Dwarves are on 63% so far. So it tends to be that when Varangur come out to play, whether they win or lose, they kill everything on the way down. Interestingly, their scenario points of Varangur are actually pretty high as well, so they're doing quite well. Whereas Abyssal Dwarves are quite a bit lower. I think they're a really strong army of Varangur. I feel they always have been. And getting the chaff is a massive improvement for them in V3. That was sort of the one downside of Varangur in version 2 was that they didn't have any access to cheap chaff. They're
That's the Timberwolves, which are not too bad, and
they were 110 points though, so they were.
Yeah, they were over that 100-point limit, which is
Yeah, a lot of people used to take herd allies just to get the beast packs in.
Where Snow Fox is coming at what, 80 points?
80 points, speed 9, nimble, stealthy, pathfinder. It's the perfect chaff. Oh, speed 8, sorry, yeah, but they are just they're everything you'd want in chaff.
Yeah.
Okay, so just checking there. There's
Let's move everything up and stay out.
Yep.
And he's put the Strider one, of course, right behind where the forest is going to be.
Yep.
Yep.
Not a huge fan of that because I can't see anything. I'd rather him hang that one back a little bit.
He's just got into the wood.
He is able to move into woods. Okay.
Yeah.
If you can touch him, that's good.
Dan definitely playing very aggressive here, moving all the mounted sons up to just out of charge range. On
I think it's the right move. I think holding back would be a mistake here. I mean, he's still not moved his foxes yet, but I'm imagining all 3 foxes are just going to barrel straight forward.
Straight over the top of the
Yeah. Yep. Because like we were saying, eventually he will roll some 6s on those mortars, and eventually the weakness wounds will stack up. So I think I think early engagement is in Dan's best interest, and dragging the game out is in Jeff's best interest.
I mean, you can see here.
Sorry, Elliot. I was going to say, what do you think the first target's going to be for the conclaves?
Well, that's what I was about to say. Interestingly, that you can see here why that positioning is maybe not the best for them. Whereas if they had been out by those walls, they would have had a lot more targets. I think really all they can see there is the all the grotesques maybe.
Half-breed on the hill.
Half-breed on the hill. What's the range on the Megas conclave?
36 inches. But the half-breed on hill is going to be hitting on 6s with individual and cover. Actually, no, it shouldn't. Wait, it's height 3 hill, so and height 3.
Yeah, it's not cover anymore.
Yeah, so it wouldn't get cover, but it would.
Interestingly, it would have been cover in V2, but it's not cover now.
Yeah,
because 2 plus 2 was 4 with a 2 difference, and now 3 plus 3 is 6 with a 3 difference.
Mm-hmm.
So just by a quirk of the extra height on everything. Means that,
looks like he's done shooting and he's now measuring his ranges and weighing his options for the conclaves. Thinking about shooting those grotesques.
Those conclaves, get him into better positioning. But, I mean, the thing is, he can also move the conclaves over to the left if he did want to pop wounds, because everything of Jeff's is taller than cavalry, and everything worth shooting at least.
Right. Yeah, there's not really much point in shooting at the obsidian golems in a forest.
Mm-hmm. No, shuffling everything for no cover.
Yeah.
A lot of people
grotesques are fantastic.
Right.
No, I was saying that the grotesques aren't really a fantastic target because they've got the regen, of course. So they're, you know, they're potentially coming back. I would actually, go for one of the individuals. Either go for if you can get them, the hexcasters, or the because I can see that weakness becoming a real pain for him later on.
Yeah, if you don't take the hexcasters out, they're gonna clean up units and blunt charges.
Yeah.
So Dan has actually left the snow foxes behind the mounted sons instead of jumping them out in front.
So everything's out of range, so I guess that's fine. But I really wish he would have, especially in the center, just went ahead and barreled through. Because right now those you got the mastiffs who can charge in, and then Grotesque, if he really wanted to, he could back up out of charge range, I believe.
Yeah.
He's 14 inches out, 3.5 inches. He can deny a charge in the center and buy himself an extra turn of shooting. 2 when you count the mastiffs, and even more when you count in the mighty individuals of the half-breeds.
Mm.
And he also kept Magnil in between these two sons, so he didn't pop fly.
I think that was the right choice. I mean, Magnil's 7 attacks. She can just tip combats over into, difficult combats into easy wins, really.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's good with the fly because
she's good for 4 more damage, really, on most things.
Yeah, she can always threaten the fly, but she's just good just adding on damage.
It also means that 2 half-breeds can't gang up on her.
Yeah.
As long as he's... Can you zoom in? Did he actually keep Magnil slightly tucked in?
Yes.
He did.
Yes.
Okay. That is a tip I definitely want to give out to new players. Flush battle lines means your opponent can choose where to multi-charge. If you have staggered battle lines, then it means you dictate who gets to be multi-charged.
Especially with an individual, because if you get caught out with an individual, you can then overrun into them.
Doing some final positioning on his skull. On his left side on the hill.
Yeah,
Not really
like
anything to bane chant this turn. Just like
I think his entire arm is inspired there. So.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah, and this Magus down here still has all 3 of the conclaves inspired. Yep, so he's got his whole army inspired. Just in case Jeff's guns get hot next turn.
I mean, it can happen anytime. Especially on UB, you can definitely get the the double 6 rolls and then another 6 and another 6. It does happen.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
So we're talking about
especially on UB.
representation by country. Right now we've got UK versus Australia, and they are neck and neck in win percentage. 53
Yep.
versus 50.
There's a lot going on this game. Yeah.
I think Dan is still considering what to shoot at. That's
I would think he would go ahead and take his Magus out of the field. That way he has an option to move it to double if he needs to inspiring.
There we go, shooting.
all right. He's made up his mind.
I'll be interested to see what he picks as his targets here.
Might be going after the half-breed.
Moving. He's firing everything.
So that's the lightning bolt, I think, from the mages, isn't it? So.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, he's going after the half-breed on the hill, like we thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if he does the same with the conclaves, though.
I would, because half-breed has regen as well.
I guess it depends on whether they've worked out whether he gets cover or not. That's a pretty good unit to try to get rid of, because the next turn he can charge with both of the half breeds and hold up both of the mounted sons in the middle if he needs to.
I just realized the Magus is actually out of the field.
Oh.
I thought
Yeah,
the Magus was
just so it looks like he's firing his conclaves at the grotesques.
At the grotesques in the center, yeah.
Like I say, with the regen, that's I'm not sure about that, but okay.
No.
I'll say everything but the. Both the grotesques and the champions all have regen, so he doesn't really have too many options.
All right. Yeah, 1 wound on the half-breed champ,
3
and
wounds.
another.
Yeah.
Gone up to 3 on the grotesques. And now he's rolling, what is this, 3rd conclave?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah,
And then
so they're
that'll
all
be
in
the-
cover there because obviously he shuffled sidewards, so he's getting cover from his own field.
Oh, right. Right.
But he shouldn't, because if they're going to height 1 field, then height
Height.
4 protest.
That's true, actually.
But he moved in difficult terrain. Doesn't that cause...
I believe with height it doesn't matter, but it could be
Yeah,
one
it's
of
still
those
the height,
perks
isn't it? Unless it was the one on the end, maybe he was firing that had cover from the trees, perhaps.
Mhm.
Possibly.
I think only the center one had a clear shot on the protest.
I think now they're moving on to top of turn 2. There's no combat, but that's all really shooting.
Yeah. Right. What do you do as Jeff here now, then? Do you go aggressive, or do you do everything you can to hold off?
I mean, since it's kill and you have the shooting advantage, I would just hold off, set up traps, and right now Jeff has offered a pretty flat battle line on the left. If he can start like positioning some stuff, make it so that it's hard to get two units into any of his units without also giving up all sorts of nasty flanks. And while the hexcasters are not mighty, you can't land on top of them either. So you can make it so it's risky overrun.
Yeah, you could make it so it's pretty much impossible to double charge the grotesques. Just by there's not enough frontage.
Yeah, not enough space to squeeze in.
Which again is why Abyssal Dwarves love the castle game. So I'm kind of confused that Dan went for that.
Yeah, it's like Jeff is backing up his hexcasters, so he might be doing what we were expecting and just pulling everybody back a little bit, buy another round of shooting before the cav comes in on him. So at this point, do you run interference with the half-breeds to slow him up a little longer, like you pick something that you're not going to shoot at and try to slow it down with it, or do you pull them back as well? Or do you try to get behind him?
I would get behind with the half-breed. With that there. I would take the half-breed behind. I'd bring the mastiffs forward.
What flank is that middle half-breed on for the center mounted sons?
It looks like it might be a flank rather. Oh no, it's a front. Oh, you could turn to a front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he has no Bane Chant there. He does have Magno, so you do have to risk losing both of them. But I mean, if you target both of those guys there and get weakness off.
Yeah, it would be a good, you could put both in, and then you've got the dwarves coming next turn.
It's a risky play, but it's that's a potential backbreaker if it pulls off.
Sure, because if he pulls that off, then you have to send Magnil to keep the dwarves on the hill from coming down at you next turn, or try to throw the foxes in their way.
The dwarves are at least 2 turns away. They got stubby legs.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
If you get charged by dwarfs when you're on a Varangur horse, then something isn't going right.
Something's going horribly right.
Usually means I'm running the army.
He's just regen back 2 of the 3 damage. So all that shooting pretty much didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, keeping one point on is 1 point could make a difference in an Alpha Strike.
It could, but they're not going to get. Yeah, they're not getting charged this turn, are they? So they're going to have another chance of regen, probably another chance, and
yeah.
Jeff taking a minute to consider his options, I think.
So I'm guessing that the right amount of suns are out of range of the grotesque now.
The grotesque backed up 3.5.
Yeah, looks like there.
Yeah, the 19.5.
Yeah. Or they only backed up 2, but yeah, that's enough to get the right one since it was a flank. And the center one, it doesn't look like he can make contact.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Obviously, the black stalls are in range of a charge of the Mountain Suns, but I don't know if you'd risk that.
Would you go into the Abyssal Champion straight into the Suns afterwards? Double charge. You try to clear that.
It
that
is a double
right-hand
charge,
side.
actually. Yeah, that would be quite a nice charge.
Yeah, put both of them into the Champion, then straight into the Black Souls, and turn around to come down.
Oh,
flank.
up on the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a
Very
lot
good.
of dice rolls there, things that have to go right. I mean, it should do.
But this is Dan. That's a very Dan move.
It's a very Dan move, yeah.
I mean,
That's what I was
taking
saying
up a
about-
strong position on a
Jeff
flank
is,
with 2 cav regiments is usually
Yeah.
not a bad move. It looks like
Although
Jeff is
he's
doing
mo-
what we were suspecting.
Yeah.
He's moving his half-breed champ around behind them.
Yeah.
I like
play-
that move.
play
It's just-
fake
it
getting
gives them
around the back.
options.
That gives him a ton of options. Because then next
Also,
round he
again-
can start chewing through Magus Conclaves, or he can pop one of those guys in the back if he needs to take away Thunderous.
And getting in the back while something else charges in the front means the half-breed is pretty much safe from countercharge for the most part.
Yeah.
We're seeing if you can do it twice. That'd be interesting if you can get 2 behind there.
So it looks like the Strider mounted Suns actually aren't towed in.
Yeah,
He
they're
backed
not.
them up. Oh, yeah, he backed them up.
There we go, straight through the middle.
Yeah. So it's got
And it
2
looks
by
like
there.
it's
That's
able
nice.
to keep the 1-inch gap.
Yep.
I like that.
that is a very good move there, I think. Getting both of those characters
If
into the
if you're
backfield.
Jeff, do you go ahead and kill 2 Magus Conclaves, or do you?
I think you wait and see. I think
You-
you wait and see where Dan is next turn, and
Yeah.
you know you've got so many options there, haven't you? It's an ideal position to be in.
Mm-hmm. Because there's pretty much no way the center mounted Suns at least can get out of range.
Yeah, wait and see what happens for the rest of this turn, and then figure out what your priorities for next turn are. But they're such good utility pieces, those half-breed champs.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said, 2 of those into Mattelson Regiment can put it in a dangerous place, actually.
Yeah, they do about
especially-
6 damage on average, 6 or 7.
Yeah, so
against
you-
defense 5.
Yeah, so if you focus and then throw those 2 weakness casters at one of them, you can pick one up in a turn.
Yeah.
2 weakness
Thing is-
casters should do about like 1 or 2, so you can easily get a waiver, or not easily, but like it puts it in a dangerous waiver position, definitely.
Well, the
Looks like-
half-breed champions at 12-14 nerve, you're going to have to put 9 damage on them to have some confidence of routing them, and you can't do that in Dan's list from shooting. There's not enough firepower there.
Not unless he gets
Oh.
lucky.
Yeah, I mean, hashtag UB dice.
Yeah, but when in doubt, get lucky.
Yeah.
That is the best game plan, is roll more 6s
Yeah.
than your opponent.
I mean, I think Jeff's got a very good right flank there. The left flank's going to be an interesting one. I'm assuming Dan's got charges with those amount of Suns, although he can't have with the middle ones because he can't see anything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it doesn't look like he's got.
Does he still have the golems? Now that you want to charge into the woods.
Yeah. The left-hand 2 go straight into the grotesques.
Mhm.
The snowfox behind the second unit go to chaff up the golems, just in case you don't break them in the first turn. So the right-hand side golem.
Well, I'm assuming those massives are going to come through, so that if you do go to the grotesque, you only can get 1 unit. And chances
Yeah.
are, if you don't break them, you can give up a flank because you'll be so far off to the right. And
Right.
with Dan only having 6 combat units, that is very risky.
But Jeff doesn't have any surge in his list anywhere, does he?
He does not.
Okay.
He almost doesn't need it at this point, though, does he? Because it's going to be such a tight brawl that you're
Yeah.
going to give him a flank somewhere. It's going to be almost
Yeah.
impossible not to.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what he does with them. So if you're Dan, how does your plan in the middle have to change now that you've got these 2 half-breed champs behind you? You don't have enough shooting to take them out of your own. Is this work
Ignore
for
them.
Magnil to do, or just ignore them, or?
I think you kind of have to ignore him a little bit.
Yeah, I think it'd be a fool's errand to turn around and try and chase him down. You see a lot of, especially newer players, you do something like that and they spin the regiment round to face it, and then next turn you just turn again and you do it again, and you can hold them there all game if you want to.
Mhm.
Yeah, remember that each RP champion's 140 odd points versus the Conclaves, which is 110. So there's a net gain for Dan by him chasing around, at least for 2 turns.
Yeah, I say you ignore them and you maybe shoot at them.
Yeah.
But that's it really.
I think
Yeah,
you could put a few points and hope for a lucky break on dice roll.
Mhm.
And looks like Jeff is probably done moving and is sorting out what he wants to shoot at this turn. So he's left this half-breed overweight, all the half-breed champ on the left in front of the grotesques.
How far is that away from that grotesques?
I'm
That
guessing,
half-breed on... Yeah.
I'm guessing that's like a 3 or 4. It's 2 inches. Yeah, it's just over an inch out, and 50 millimeters is over 2 inches. So Dan will need a 4 if he does charge him.
Mm. But it's
Yeah.
only 1. Well, you could in theory get 2, but
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, there you go.
There it is. There it is.
That makes no sense. Yeah.
I like that actually. I like that a lot there.
Double there. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
I like
still
the individual
offering-
there as well.
Yeah, he actually backed up potentially out of charge range
Yeah,
for the grotesque.
I wouldn't have backed up there personally. I like where he was because he had a lot of maneuverability with that individual moves away next turn.
Well, if he stayed there, then yes, he could be charged by a single guy.
Yeah, but it'd be hindered and
It'd be hindered, and then if he doesn't break,
and
which
you
he's most likely not.
and you could weakness. You can spread weakness out, can't you? And
Yeah.
Yep.
The only reason I would back up is if one of the Strider one maybe, or the one that you have selected could see and get a flank, but I don't think they're in the flank at all.
No.
Jeff's playing a very defensive game. I mean, the Abyssal Dwarfs are doing very well anyway, but he's really, he's seen that if he gets into any sort of pitch battle, he's going to get absolutely shafted. But so he's moving everything back and creating time.
And also in kill, you've only got to win by 230 points. You don't need to win by 1,000.
Yeah.
So if you get that lucky shot and you take something off, then all of a sudden you play the defensive game, which is why I hate kill.
Yeah.
It's boring and it sucks.
That's also why I don't like the 5, 10, 15 scoring system, though. I think it's too big of a jump from a draw to a one for a more granular scoring system.
Yeah.
But we are playing the modified kill with these 6 objective markers.
So, just want to point out the objective markers then, please, Mike.
So there's one over here in the pond, top right.
Okay, yeah.
There's one kind of over here in between the passables on the right.
Mm-hmm.
There's one on the hill on the left-hand side.
I think so, yeah. 2 here in the middle, 1 in the middle of the field, the forest, and there's 1 in the field by the Megascon.
So I think, as they were saying, they are just totally ignoring them until turn 5 or 6 and see what's left here, which I think is the right move. It's far too early to be leaving units behind to babysit tokens.
Yeah, but if you're dwarfs, you can't move
tokens that don't actually win.
I don't know. Here we go, shooting. Cannons. Boom, 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 boom. Nope. Oh, yes.
1 hit.
Yeah, the 6.
Oof.
Ooh.
5.
Started.
It's going to be 5, yep. Probably 5 wounds.
5 wounds.
Yeah. God, those things are just scary.
I mean, the high pierce with the vicious.
Yeah,
It's just so good.
It's just silly. And shattering.
And shattering.
So
Did they really need all of that?
No,
Well,
they
the
didn't.
thing is, they definitely got better than the last time, and they were probably one of the few war machines worth taking in second edition.
Yeah. Still take 3 for 1 hit a turn. Now you take 3 and you get 2 unless you're playing a stealthy army. Wait to see if you can do that again.
Second cannon in.
Yeah, because if he gets one more hit on that same unit,
Nope.
Nope.
and this third one, see,
Does
Same
it- I
Third
think I
one
assume you-
can-
You
Are
shouldn't
these-
be able to see.
it's gotta be-
the grotesques are too tall.
Yeah. You can probably see
Yeah, it
the.
looks like he's
Yeah.
going to the left.
One on the yep.
Yeah.
This hit. Sixes.
Nope.
It's 4 4s in a row.
All right. So now you've got weakness casters. Do you go after the wounded sons with them at this
Oh,
point?
yeah, definitely.
No brainer.
Yeah.
Like what he's planning on doing.
In fact, I could probably get all three, but I might save one of the. In fact, no, there's no good charge targets on the left flank, is it? So you might as well put all three into that.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get a kill early like that, that's a huge backbreaker for the center.
Especially with those two half-breeds
Another one.
knocking around, they can easily finish one off if it gets a good amount of damage.
Mhm.
Yeah. One more wound on them from the first
Yep.
one. Certainly throw the second one at them. Third one, I don't know if he can. Or you can probably see him. Just have to see the part.
Ooh.
You decided that 6
Ooh.
wounds. Did
No,
okay.
there we
No.
go.
Teasing is the.
Mounted Sun. 15,
Oh, no.
7.
So one thing I
15,
don't
now, yeah.
like about hiding the snow foxes is now if the right one dies, the left one, you can shoot the snow foxes out, but that's not going to really do you any good. Well, the snow foxes could see, they could have multi-charged, and after a multi-charge killing the mastiffs, you could run the snow foxes up to be chaff again.
So is he doing that not for the damage, but to actually get weakness on both of those?
For the weakness, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
You really worried about? I mean, certainly even weak, they'll still kill the master.
Yeah, should do.
But would he go for the? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because they're not.
Can he see the black
free
souls?
dwarves.
Yeah.
He can just see the black soul, so that might be discouraging. Charging the black.
Yeah.
Soul.
I'd go for both of the black souls. Take them both out and then turn back in. Rather than
Yeah.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Then. Maybe he's now made it more of a risk for the Black Souls, and that is actually more of a risk now, isn't it, with the weakness?
Well,
yeah.
especially if the one on the right is wavered or killed.
Mm.
So
Well,
both
if
of them
he's-
with Magnil should still be able to kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then he's committing everything that direction. But I guess where he's got the grotesques standing there, the grotesque won't really be able to see counter charge.
No, the arc's not great there.
Yeah, if he's planning on doing that, he probably really should turn those grotesques to look that direction. Right? But I guess
If he
back them up.
multi-charges, he actually could probably see one of them.
Maybe the
See
back
them
one.
in reform all the way out.
All passed the nerve test, I think.
Big no,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's a big one now. Big one now. No.
No,
Sorry.
on 6.
Yeah. But he spread some weakness around, which is good.
I think that's probably
Right,
going to be
I have
the
no
end
idea
of
what I do
this
down
thing.
here.
Well, I mean, you're Varangar. You moved up aggressively in turn 1. Now it's bottom of turn 2. You go in against something, right? Like you have to make something happen. You can't just sit back and keep getting picked apart. You got half breeds in your
Honestly,
backfield.
you might just go ahead and charge the wounded guys.
Yeah, because they're taking
At
damage.
this
You
point,
might as well.
they're practically chaff.
There we go.
Yeah.
Triple charge into there.
Or is it just the one? It might just be the.
I would at least double charge.
Can McNeil get there without flying? Is he 14?
14. No, it's just out.
Okay.
Yeah.
It'd be a waste of a fly, in my opinion. But then
Okay, you wouldn't want to fly. That's
Yeah.
Single
Think he's gonna
weekend.
by himself?
One
single.
does not have a good chance to kill.
Yeah.
It's only 6. It's only 6 damage, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll
Yeah,
do.
I wonder if
I mean,
McNeil's going to go
I know
for
we-
the cast.
Yeah.
Could
I
be.
think
I mean,
it's
I think
pain-
she'll
pain in the arse.
probably just be an arc of the grotesque if he doesn't kill them.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like he's just out. Yeah. Okay. So that's decently safe. Step off for just a minute.
Hay fever. God.
All right, so that's one single charge up a hill. So now, what do you do with Magnilde and the other unit of the Snow Foxes?
Snow foxes into the wherever the hound things are. Mastiffs.
They can't see though. They can't
I can't see
charge,
them.
so they're just
Yeah.
Yeah, you
They're-
have
they're-
to
they're-
mount it.
Because he bounce them forward.
barrel
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
Which isn't the worst idea, but then you're taking another volley of mortar shots from the mounted suns. Every time the mounted suns aren't charging something, they're just sat there as a potential target.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I've got to
at
say,
least-
I'm not liking Dan's position at the minute. There's no safe, easy charger on the left. And I really, it's a real shame getting those half-breeds behind you.
Yeah, and you can't double charge with those Snow Foxes and the mounted suns because Snow Foxes can't see anything this turn. The best you can do is chaff up the hounds with them.
Mm.
If you but then why are you chaffing them up? What's your other target that you're going for?
That might be the move, though. Chaff them up and move forward with the mounted suns, and then
Yeah,
sort
there
of
we go.
hope on the right-hand side here that your mounted suns could kill them in one go and turn around, but it's
Yeah.
unlikely.
All right, moving his foxes down off the hill, taking up position in front of the golems. Or
Oh.
No.
or in front of everything. Snow Fox is Pathfinder.
Yes,
It does.
Okay, wow. Yeah, they are really good.
and
For 80
stealthy
points. And stealthy.
and nimble.
And nimble.
Pathfinder.
And fast. And vicious.
Oh yeah, vicious as well, just for good measure.
Just for good measure.
Right. Okay. I need to paint some of those up. Okay, that's fine.
I remember in player testing, Chris Morris messaged me and said, "Do you think we should make Snow Foxes cheaper or give them a horde option? What do you think of it better? Cheaper! Not a horde option.
Oh no, it's not a special unit again, is it?
Well, they started out at about 100 points. I was like, no, cheaper, cheap chaff for Aranga.
Honestly, I feel like 100 points is more what units like them should be. Like them, Beast
Yeah.
Pack, Harpy should probably be 110.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree, but I think you can't have one unit like that. They should either all be it or not.
Oh yeah, all of
There we
them.
go.
Oh,
There we go. Knights going in.
so was he just working out where he would send the foxes once the knights were out of the way and then decided to go in
Yeah,
with the
I
charge?
think so.
Oh yeah.
I guess he figured out that he can get the foxes in enough of a position to keep the grotesques from charging in against the mounted suns after they kill the mastiffs there. But that's a
Yeah.
safe enough charge to do. And with no surge, you don't really have to worry about the
I
further
think he's about
golems
to
coming out
charge
of the woods.
the half-breed. Yeah, he's charging the
Is
half-breed.
he? Oh,
Yep.
that's
Oh,
not
yeah.
bad either.
Because that chaps up
Oh.
the golems, and if he backs up, he should be out of range. Or he chaps up the grotesque, he backs up, he should be out of range of the golems, right?
Yeah, because he's out of 8 currently.
Are they speed 4 or 5 though?
They're speed 5, so he's
5.
got to back up a little.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to back up, but he does have a second Snow Fox.
They're not Pathfinder, are they, the Abyssal Golems?
They are not.
No.
So it would be. Are they in the flank, though? I mean, yeah, it says he's got more foxes.
They're not in the flank. Yeah, the further away one that would be in the flank is too far. It's not too far to make it. And he does have more foxes to put the blob in front of him if he needs to. Certainly those snow foxes aren't going to kill that half-breed champ. They're just going to stand there and keep the
Die.
grotesques
Yeah, no.
off for a
No,
turn.
I think he charged because he couldn't fit that gap without breaking 1-inch rules otherwise.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
So that's a really good move. Charging not because of damage. Any damage is nice if you do it, but because it puts you in a better position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely keeps those grotesques bottled up. It makes it more difficult for the golems to move out of the woods. And he does have that second. Yeah, looks like he's measuring the second group of foxes to figure out exactly where he wants to put them to keep the golems all the way off of him while he moves up.
I will say, if Jeff did not back up the golems, he would not have been able to pull that off. He might have been able to charge the golems himself, so.
Yeah, they created a gap for himself that Dan just waltzed into, didn't he?
Yep.
You did say that he didn't need to go back that far.
But as you say, it might have been able to charge the grotesques themselves.
Yeah.
Potentially.
And they're on such a big base that they can't really get around much if they get charged even off to the side.
But it's unusual for Dan to go one-on-one with. We're left with the if we played it out with the grotesques being slightly further forward and engaged with snow foxes, blah blah blah, you'd end up with the Varangur knights going into the grotesque one-on-one, and that isn't great because they've got regen. They'll be around for a bit.
Yeah.
Well, the guys on a hill still have a lot of threat range, and I would stay on that hill to get that charge bonus. Because I believe you can hit all the way to the edge of the forest, right? With the far left knights.
Which one?
Yeah.
This one? Or this one?
Yeah.
Far left, yeah.
Those ones. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's got quite a good reach there.
There we go.
I would position.
That's
those
more
knights-
like it.
Oh, okay, the double charge.
That's more like Dan.
That's more like it.
Send everything in.
If you're going to smash
Should
somebody,
kill it.
smash them hard. Yeah.
Yep, and then now these snow foxes in range of those mastiffs.
Snow foxes to cover him for double one, I suspect, as well.
Well, because the grotesques will still have they'll have an arc now, what do I imagine? Or are they out?
No, they're out of arc.
Oh,
Oh, they're well out, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
But you can't really turn the suns to face them, though, because then they will be an arc.
Mhm.
And then, yep, there go the foxes to get in the way of the mastiffs. So now what does Magnil do? Does Magnil try to punch this hexcaster? Or does she pop fly? And
Or she just hangs
fly
around
to get out,
inspiring and
Or maybe just walk up behind the snow foxes to set up next turn.
Or jumps back and kicks the half-breed.
I wouldn't kick the half breed. I'd rather have the inspiring than doing 4 to 5 wounds on a half breed.
Oh,
Nope.
there it is, though.
kicking a half breed.
I feel like
suppose
that
he's
means
thinking about
Magdalene
protecting his
has to pop fly to get back into the action next turn, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I
she's got
suppose he's
14
thinking
inch.
there about protecting the mountain funds.
Yeah, because they've got 6 wounds of that other regiment, so they take a half beat. That's going to give 2 or 3 more damage, which will put them into squeaky bum time on UB dice, wouldn't it?
And the other one's out of range.
Yeah.
So you can't, the mountain suns now effectively safe from damage apart from shooting next turn.
Yeah, and only 2 of the mortars can see them on the hill. But he does still have these 2 hexcasters over there. So if it gets to the point where just putting 1 or 2 damage on the already wounded unit bumps them up into danger, that you don't really need the mortars to work on that one if you're just looking for
Is
a way.
that a hexcaster in front of the second
No.
golem unit?
It is.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah.
third one.
Okay. I'd take that. Even the minus 1 to go through the woods.
I mean, if you
Make it time to charge.
kill an overrun, what's your next move? You hit
I
golems.
wouldn't overrun. I'd stand there and accept the golems because they're both in
So
front.
then you're going to get front and 2 flanks.
Well, you won't get second. You only get front and 1 flank.
Well, because the Black Souls would come in on the other side.
Yeah. But they're all hitting. The Black Souls wouldn't be hitting on. I just move up. Yeah.
He's just moving up to stay out of range. But get closer.
And they're in the woods now. So
He's on a
both
horse.
the woods
There's no
are
reason to take a charge.
But it looks like maybe he has dipped a toe into the woods with the non-strider units. Anything they do
Yeah.
next turn would be hindered.
But if they're going to go up against that Well, yeah.
He's probably figured that he's going to be hindered anyway.
And he does have the loot over here, so maybe thinking like they'll just Bane champ them and deal with the fact that they're hindered.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's quite interesting if it wasn't Dan. If Dan does kill those black souls off and damages and takes out some of the mastiffs. If there's another player with that much speed advantage over dwarfs, he may just wander off, and say. And as Elliot said earlier, you win by 300 points. But this is Dan, so I can't imagine Dan would ever do that. So
no, Dan's going to try and kill everything.
Dan's going to try and kill
He
everything.
could do that, and then Jeff does have enough shooting that if he tries to wander off, he can make up the difference pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't think Dan doesn't think about a scenario. He kills everything and then thinks about the scenario later. He's like the opposite of Jeff.
Yeah. No, I've seen Dan play where he's forgotten the scenario entirely and almost lost a game because he's completely forgotten the scenario, and his opponent sort of got the scenario out and read it to Dan in turn 5, saying, you need to get into my half.
Oh, was it Invade? I feel like Invade.
Yeah, it was Invade. I think it was Lone Wolf 2 years ago. And we were all sort of stood around, and we were all going, and you can see people going, "What's Dan doing? He's ignoring the scenario here. He's just chasing the other units down to kill them, and he's ignoring the scenario." And we're all sort of sitting there going, and his opponent then was sort of like real sportsmanship. Went, just want to read out the scenario again because it's quite complex. It's a Mark Cox special,
right?
And so Dan sort of clicked, went, "Oh yeah," then put everything back.
So it looks like Dan is just finishing up his movement, trying to decide what to do with this last unit of mounted sons on the hill. Looks like he pulled these guys back to be just out of the grotesque charge range, I think. Or maybe just in.
Yeah, keep them there, but pivot them so that they have an easier chance of clearing.
Yep.
Yeah, because if you move something up into this area, you really want to shoot that gap between the other two units of mounted sons, right? Join in the charge, get the +1 thunders off the hill.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or not.
Yeah, see, and
where's he going? Where's he going?
Stay on the hill.
Stay on the hill. That's defense 6, man.
I think he wants the option, doesn't he? He wants the options to reach everything.
The thing is, if he stays where he is, the only way he won't get a charge is if the sleeping bones don't go back, which I'm fine with now.
You put your left leg in, your in, out. Shake your troops about.
So these snow foxes back here, he hasn't moved them yet, but I mean, you send them forward to make sure that the grotesques don't come out of the woods next turn, right? That's.
I mean, you don't really need to. Right now, the left grotesque can charge the mounted sons, and so you would have hindered grotesque and maybe and then the half-breed champion. That's probably not going to break him, especially if he can get a scald over there.
Is he going to turn his fox? Oh, right, he's gone. He's gone.
There you go. Yep. Except for throwing him up the chaff. And he hasn't moved this scald yet, but you ought to be able to get him in inspiring range. Those other sons.
It looks at the minute like that left-hand side golem unit could get through that gap into the mountain sons.
Yeah, but they're doing outside range.
Yeah.
No, but they're in range of the ones that are charged the dogs.
The ones that are engaged.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was expecting this unit of foxes to end up further over to block that charge, but he just set them straight forward.
Or Dan's sacrificing his knights to get access to the golems. Mind you, that's not a particularly good exchange, is it? That's a really bad exchange by 10 points.
Yeah.
Are you saying he's sacrificing the knights on the left?
Yeah, these. Talking about these.
I don't think that's really sacrifice. I think they get hurt, but they're not really going to die. I mean, you're only looking at about.
No, remember, they're hitting on fives, aren't they? Coming out of the woods.
Mm-hmm. So you're looking at about 6 wounds on the high end from the golems. 3 to
Here we
4.
go, shooting.
And he's shooting at this other half-breed with his Magus Conclaves. And it'll be interesting to see whether that unit of mounted sun successfully acts like an anvil or baked next turn.
3 more hits. It's
See, this is Dan turning around going, look, this is how you hit on 6s. So if I rolled 2 6s to hit, it only needs 5s, but I thought it'd show off.
Yeah.
Matt, there's the lightning bolt going in.
Yep. So that'll be a couple more. One more.
That's definitely in the danger zone for a half breed.
Yeah, 12, 14 is not a lot, is it?
It's 9 wounds, so he needs a 5 twice?
No, it's not
just 6 wounds, I think.
6 wounds.
8 to kill, 6 to waver.
6 to waver. And what we're bane chanting the foxes?
Because why not?
Because why not? Go foxes, go.
You are? I'm guessing that's the whole reason why I moved the Mountain Suns off the hill.
Okay, the nerf. I think that's a nerf check of 3, so that half breed's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does not care.
Yeah. Yeah, killed him on the first roll.
And whenever I'm shooting something like that, sometimes I don't want to get a kill on the first roll. I could just get a waver and be done with it.
Here we go.
All right, we'll see if this double charge on the Black Souls pays off.
So what's the average
Just
here?
rolling them both together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 3s and 4s, and it's 12 damage.
Yeah, that's
Should do it.
spot on.
Not inspired. That is actually exactly the spot.
It's exactly average.
Yeah.
Black Souls are 14, 16. And
Yeah.
there's a 9.
Easy.
Yep.
Now, obviously, turning around here puts you in.
Yeah,
In
I'm
arc
interested
of
to
the,
see if he can pivot and still stay out of arc.
First blood.
Possibly, because if you do a full 180 and then angle it a bit back, you'll still be able to see things, but you won't. You should be able to stay out of arc. Can we just check the arc on the
Grotesque?
Yep.
grotesque? Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh, that is close.
Oh.
Easy out.
Jesus.
Pixels of space there.
Is
So
it the
what I think
inside
is
of the line or the outside of the line?
I mean, I
We
can see a little bit of green. I can see a little bit of green.
It's a green.
I think, I think if it touches the line, it's in.
Yeah, it's in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can see at least one pixel line of green there. So
Yeah,
I
it's
think
pixel
he's
green
good.
there.
All right. Brilliant
So-
move.
Entirely intended, yeah, sure.
Okay, it's the Snow Foxes.
Oh, Magnill's just got 6 hits.
Oh,
7
Sorry,
hits. I'm
7
6
hits.
sorry.
it's
It's going to be 3 wounds.
that's 4
4
damage.
4 damage.
Not enough.
3
be
damage. Crush 2, defense 5.
It's fine.
Yeah, they're all right.
I mean, the thing with Magdal is hitting on 3s elite with some attacks. It's very easy to get 6 or 7 wounds if your dice are off.
So what do you do with the grotesque now? Do you ignore Magnild and take out 2 conclaves, or do you gang up on Magnild with both of them?
I say gang up on Magnal. I'd rather kill Magdal than Conclaves.
She's you're not going to get many chances to get Magnild caught, are you?
Like 4 hits by the snow foxes.
But at the same time, if you're looking at pure kill efficiency, you can pick up 2 conclaves in a single turn. That might be
Snow foxes hit on 4s or 5s?
5s.
5s.
5s. Okay.
Yeah. So these ones have got Thunderous and Crushing.
Oh yeah.
And crushing.
Yeah.
Not that it matters.
Yeah, that's not helped.
Right.
Oh, Snow Foxes have 10 attacks. That's kind of weird for this one. Normally it's 9 or 12.
Ooh,
Ooh,
he's
that's
his
not
dice
good.
on that. That's not good.
That's not good at all.
No, it's really not good. Not even wavered.
Oh, wow.
Oops.
It's going to be.
Jesus, what's that? 5 ones, 6 ones, 7 ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they are in the front arc, I think, aren't they? Of I think they're still in the front arc of the golem, so I don't think it matters.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, in the front.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
I
a big
like
enough moment that Dan definitely had to exclaim his frustration of the chat.
Yeah, games with dice. Sometimes things like that happen.
Yeah. So he's got a multi-charge there with the dogs and the golems in the front.
Yes. Actually, no.
You can't because the foxes
are still in
block.
the way.
Yeah, the foxes possibly
Golem to 2D.
probably do block. He might just be able to get a slither in.
He could send the half-breed in if he wants and slide the mastiffs the other direction, couldn't he?
Yeah, he could do that. You do that, and you take out the snow foxes, and now you have the chap advantage on that side.
Yeah. So I think Dan's done with his turn, so we should be going on to the top of 3.
So that half-breed is
That was a good turn.
pretty. That was a pretty bad break there on the left, but
Yeah.
his right flank is looking a lot stronger now.
And I think positioning-wise, he's done a good job there on the left. I think he's done the best he probably could.
Yeah.
It was a very good move with the snow foxes, getting the chaff in there.
Yeah. And the Mounted Sons
Yeah.
taking out those mastiffs should have been just academic, but again, dice
Yeah.
rolls. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you get the randomness of a computer program.
Yeah. All right, Jeff sizing up his options certainly here for top turn 3. So
I think I would go for the half-breeds. I think as tempting as it is to take out 2 conclaves, the opportunity to lock Magnhild. I know she can fly away, but you're not going to get many choices. How many chances, should I say? Sorry.
If you go ahead and kill her now, there's a decent chance that you still have 2 half-breeds later.
Yeah, because she's only fearless 14, is she? She's not
15.
15, yeah.
Unless they changed her.
She's
she
not
is
quite
still
at the Hergia level of
she's still dash 15. Yeah.
15.
She's still
So
dash
it's
15.
very doable. And obviously
So-
those half-breeds have got region rolls to make. So,
So you guys are
once
talking
they
about
go in,
sending both half-breeds against Magnhild. What we're talking about.
I think it's unlikely you're going to get another chance where you can catch her.
Sure.
Magnhild's a pain, and then she'll be off after this turn, won't she, somewhere else?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it would be very...
She's within 20 inches of the grotesque.
Yeah.
So she could pop flying all the way over there and be safe, essentially.
Yeah.
And I mean, the thing is, you can charge Magnhild and you can weakness her to get a couple extra points to make it sharp.
Yeah, because I'd be super tempted to throw this half-breed champ into the side of these Mounted Sons since they've already got 6 wounds on them.
You can't shoot them though if you do that. Oh, yeah, so you can shoot them with weakness.
You can shoot them with weakness.
Yeah.
And I think they're
Yeah,
still...
that wouldn't be a terrible move.
I think you only have 1 artillery on them, though.
Yeah, you do, because the other one's got no line of sight.
Yeah.
Both on the
The
hill.
other one's got no line of sight, and this one off by itself on the right is within 3, 6, 9, is within 12 of the front unit, so it can't shoot that one because they're too close for indirect fire. But the back one is still just out of 12, so it can shoot the back one.
I mean, a single half-breed should do about 4 wounds, so that's definitely put on a 5 to waiver 7 break. That's and they're not inspired.
And they're not
And
inspired.
you can throw a few more weakness damage in there as well, which
Yeah,
you can
you'd have a good
throw
chance
into
to get rid of
combat.
them. Yeah,
So one of the important
that's a
things
tough
to-
call. Do you try to get rid of Magnhild, or do you try to get rid of Cav?
It is a tough call because, like I say, I think they're all good options. I think charging the Conclave is a good option, charging Magnhild is a good option, and charging the Mountain of Suns is a good option.
So what puts them in the best position for the turn after, then? Being, like, if he does charge 1 into the... Because he could charge 1 into Mounted Suns and then 1 into the Conclave.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a better position than charging both into Conclaves or both into Magnhild?
I'm with Elliot on this. I go after Magnhild. You don't get a chance very often together.
I mean, we're playing kill, so typically, like, you want to get rid of characters or things that will be able to hold objectives at the very end of the game. But since you're playing kill, Magnhild is good enough that she can go around and like pick up wounded units in the last couple turns of the game by herself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she's also pretty expensive in herself.
Yeah.
Cheers. The mounted sons at the back with 6 damage, they can't actually see much this turn because they can't multi-charge the grotesques because they don't have line of sight.
They're good if you charge one of those. Charge the front ones off, then the second ones can see something because that hexcaster is not going to get out of the way.
Something, yeah.
So you can't multi-charge, but you will be able to charge something.
It looks like Jeff has moved his grotesque back.
Yep.
Does that keep him in the front?
Still in the flank, isn't it?
Still flanked, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think he's undoing.
Yeah.
Yep. You
Yeah.
realised.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah, you have to pivot.
The thing about pivoting is those guys on the left are.
Yeah, it's all of a sudden the right and left flanks join up, don't they?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And this is exactly the position we wanted him to be in by deploying a guy on the right.
Absolutely,
on the
yeah.
right flank.
Yeah.
It's nice.
He's actually got there now, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he can move those black swords up to help guard his flank.
You've got to, haven't you? You've got to move those forward.
Mm,
Stop. Or do something to try and stop the double charge.
yeah.
And the ones in the
I think
wood.
this turn, Jeff has to do everything he can to kill all the chaff that's left and get himself in a position to be braced as best he can for the charge that's coming.
I mean,
Because
Jeff can really
if it-
grind things
When
out.
it
If
out
he
of the grind. Yeah.
if he can force one-on-one combats, then Jeff still has the advantage.
Yeah.
And even though all his guys are on huge 115 millimeter bases, with a couple pivots and a couple stuff like that, you can make it so that Cav can't double charge you.
Yeah.
Jeff having a good long think about what to do top of turn 3 here.
Isn't Jeff famous for his good long thinks?
So
He's
I've been
probably
told.
talking it out too.
Probably, yeah. Do you guys do that when you're playing? Do you talk through all your options like out loud?
Oh, I
to
do.
your
I'm
opponent?
an open book.
Oh, yeah.
I'm an absolute idiot.
And
I
Dan
tell my
does well.
opponents exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah, Dan does that. Instead of the monologue, if you're not careful.
But I think it's also like, as long as you're not giving away something like for the next turn, I think it's in your favor to talk things out.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you don't have to give your strategic plan for the next 4 turns, but your tactical plan for that
Yeah.
might be smart.
Yeah.
Now, see, if you don't have a plan, you're at no risk of giving it away.
Well, exactly. I've often
You got it.
if
You
I
got it
know
there.
what I'm doing, if
Or
I
if you
have no idea
only
what I'm
do
doing, you
random
can't
shit.
possibly guess.
I see Steve Hilder is back.
So is everyone here a part of Call to Arms themselves?
Yes,
No, I'm
got
not.
my game.
No.
No,
You're not, John?
why not, John?
Well, I generally have no time during the day, and most of my evenings I'm spent recovering from the day. So, no.
I am playing. I'm currently 1-1, and I haven't set up my 3rd round match yet. But I have at least found the guy on Facebook, so I can message him once we're done. Like we scheduled 3 streams for this weekend, so I was like, let me get through everybody else's games, and then I'll worry about scheduling my own.
Yeah.
But yeah, tomorrow we do have Elliot's game against
We do.
Shannon Shoemaker, which should be
Terrifying.
very good as well.
Utterly terrified.
What filth is Shannon bringing?
He hasn't sent me a
Something
list yet.
shooting, probably.
Right.
I know,
He hasn't sent me a list yet, but goblins.
Yeah.
If I had to guess.
Or something that he's playing like goblins.
Or something that he's playing like
Is
goblins.
it a goblin
Probably-
shooting list? Do I need to bring all a stealthy mounted sons?
Not necessarily. He doesn't necessarily play the goblin gun line.
No,
I've also
I'm
seen
sticking
him-
with the green lady.
Sure. I've also seen him play all historical Mongol Cav.
Yeah, but they're broken.
Yeah.
they were.
Well, and that particular tournament, the TO ruled that even though they were all technically individuals, they still had unit strength. And I'm pretty sure Shannon won that tournament because he won every scenario.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
See, I really like the skirmisher rule, but I didn't like the profiles they attached to him.
Yeah.
Like
Okay,
the skirmisher should have been like 10 attacks as a regiment, rather than 16 for the Mongols.
Yep. I've also seen Shannon play like Basilean all Elohi regiment spam and flying characters. I don't know if he's doing that in this edition or not. That was last edition. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he's going with these days.
I'm sticking with the Green Lady.
Goblins in kill scenario could be quite, yeah.
You've got to kill a lot of them to get any points.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, true. Green Lady. Very nice.
I'm really enjoying the Green Lady. It's an army basically written for me because my 2 armies were Basilians and Force of Nature. So, got to push them together into one nice army for me.
Yeah, I was listening to the Countercharge episode where they were reviewing the armies, and they got to talking about the Green Lady. And I thought it sounded kind of interesting. I was like, you could have knights and you could have rocks, and like there's a lot of cool like modeling options you could do with sort of green knights or kind of you know tree knights or something like that. Might be pretty cool.
It's a really nice army. I think of all the new themed armies, I think it's got the most flavour to it, and it's the most sort of well-rounded. The rest of them just kind of feel like other armies pushed together. And I think Green Lady feels thought out.
Yeah, and like
Green Lady, I feel like has the most build options too. Rack and Slave,
there's a lot.
I think Rack and Slave have a
got
good build, but it's like one good build.
Yeah, it's one archetype. Whereas Green Lady, I'm on my 3rd or 4th kind of archetype now for them, and enjoying all of it.
Because in my mind, like when I think about it, I see like the modeling and conversion opportunities would be like a unit of human knights who look like they are slowly morphing into tree people. Like maybe they have a couple of branches or leaves kind of sticking out of shoulders or out of the back or something.
Have you seen Nick Williams' Brotherhood army from version 2? Because he's basically got that. So he's got the water elementals as horses, which is fantastic.
Oh, the water one, yeah.
And then his infantry horde, he wrote the whole fluff that there's a disease slowly turning them into trees, which is really, really cool. So he's modelled them all, basically half dryad, half infantry, and they are slowly just turning into the forest. So it's a really, really cool army, and it's on a ridiculous floating island display board.
Yeah, that display board is... That takes display board.
We had to take an extra car to the tournament because Nick built it and doesn't drive.
Yeah.
So and by the way, guys, I need another spare seat for my display board and then another one for my army.
We're renting a trailer so we can go to this tournament.
Yeah.
Thanks. We're going to U-Haul, whatever.
Yeah.
Rent a car.
So it looks like Jeff is trying to get his grotesque out of the way. Okay, I think that multi-charge there.
Yeah, this is what Elliot said, isn't it? They kill the chaff. He has to kill the chaff.
Yeah.
He's going to take charges.
He just tried to see if he bailed to the left, and it looks like he wasn't able to get out of range. And I believe that lead mounted on the unit on the right is actually within 12 inches of those mortars, so I don't think they can shoot him.
Is it range of one of them?
That's one of them.
It's within 12 of one.
I mean, I don't think the left-hand side one's got arc on either of them.
No. So, I mean, right now, the guys on the right, they can each be shot by one mortar. And with Stealthy, that's, not a great option. So they're looking pretty good. And I think that would make me want to use the grotesques or the half-breeds to engage them. Does that half-breed with 6 wounds have range to either of them?
No.
Okay.
No.
So.
Maybe you go and punch the Strider one and weaken them.
Yeah, that would be an option.
That's what he's having right now. So Strider guys are keeping his grotesques from facing the guys on the hill very well.
Yep.
So if Jeff is able to block the grotesque from the guys on the hill, then honestly Dan could just charge mortars and then completely spin circle him, and that's going to be a quick game after that.
Yeah. Well, the one on the back can't see the furthest right mortar to charge it. But the one on the front
got to be careful about saying it'd be a quick game. We said that yesterday.
Yeah.
I think we said it about both players yesterday. Oh, it's over. It's going to be a fast game now.
like every turn we were like, oh, they've got it now. They're
can't come back from that.
Flop back and forth everything.
Yeah.
It's a good
Thanks.
game where you think whoever's turn it is going to be the one who wins.
Right.
Yeah, and it was a good game yesterday.
It was. Ended up a draw.
Two
Spoiler alert.
infantry horde armies. You'd think it'd be a bit of a grind. Actually, it was quite an interesting, really fun tactical game.
Yeah.
I'll say this
But I
game.
agree with you actually that charging the Mountain of Suns into one of the into the mortars would put you in a lovely position there.
Mhm.
Because actually you could almost then ignore the grotesque and you could turn around and threaten those ogres.
Yeah,
So that the golem
it allows you to get a flank or potential rear on the golems, which that's the biggest anchor of the line and the one that they would have most trouble with.
Yeah.
John, are you ignoring the chat? Apparently you're ignoring your devoted fans.
That's my fault for some reason. Replying to comments directly from StreamYard isn't working for him, so he's got to change tabs. I've made extra work for him to talk to you guys.
I have my own openness. I am just actually ignoring the team there.
I was trying to give you an out, man. What are you doing?
No, I'm ignoring them.
All right, so it looks like maybe he is trying to.
Why does John hate us?
Yep, he is sending one of the half breeds against those wounded mounted sons on the hill.
I think that is the right move.
Does he send the other one into Magnild or just into a Magus Conclave at this point?
I think a conclave. I don't think I'd send one by himself in.
No.
I'd send it in against the Strider unit.
Against the Strider unit. Yeah, because that way they're disordered. So
all of a sudden they have no crush.
Yeah, if you get weakness on them.
Right.
So the half breeds, 6 attacks on 3s for
I think that's the right move to do there because
yeah.
if he gets a good regen roll now, it's in cover now, individual in cover. You're on 6s. In theory, that one half breed could pick up all those points now.
Yeah.
And just go into feeding frenzy effectively through all that unit, but he might get shot off, but he's in cover, an individual, and regen.
So Matt Kroger is asking for predictions from here, and I think that's a good idea. So from here, who do you think is going to win this game?
I predict that after this game, I'm going to go back to sleep.
It's tricky. It will massively depend on Dan's next charge, the next turn there.
Well, I also feel like every turn I felt like whoever's turn it is going to be the one who's going to win. They're
I agree.
Both really good at putting each other in bad positions and recovering from those bad positions.
Because there's still a lot of nerve and a lot of high defense and a lot amount of weakness.
Mm-hmm.
That a grind does not suit Dan at all.
No.
And there's not going to be much opportunity for good charges.
Yeah, I played a very similar variant of this for this at a tournament earlier this year, and it was a bunch of snow foxes and a bunch of stealthy mounted sons. And I played undead, and you can just grind it down once you get in. If they don't kill you with that first strike, like mounted sons can get ground out by things like golems and things like grotesques.
I'm rolling
Fine,
7.
I won't sit on the fence that the Brit's going to win. Karlstan's going to win.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know why Matt was asking that. Obviously, Dan's going to win.
Dan does love a grind. I have heard that.
We all know Dan knows that. A good thing to point out is mounted sons, after they're stuck in a grind, they're pretty much the same thing as ogre warriors. Each attack, their 3s crush 1.
They're not soft on a grind, are they? They're
Looks like Jeff has moved on to shooting.
It'll be interesting when things start to go.
Sorry.
Oh, the sound quality there.
Bit of Billy playing at MCG.
Getting the weakness on the wounded guys.
It could end up being a a similar position to yesterday, actually. If they can get enough points to actually get the win, that 230 point difference.
Just one hit and no wounds from weakness, right?
No
Shame.
wounds, but the weakness could
Got a
definitely.
second one, hasn't he? I think.
You assume that the Abyssal Half-Breed would do at least 1 damage, and now those Mounted Suns aren't going to have any modifiers.
Which is a big deal.
Even if they could charge a War Machine, those War Machines are defense 5. You're looking at
Yes, they are.
attacks, but
Yeah.
UB dice.
But yeah, UB dice.
Yeah, but you still got what? 48
attacks.
1, 2, 2. Traish is coming up empty on shooting.
4 attacks, yeah.
Yeah, his other one missed.
So that's all 3 mortars missed, and so far
Only
no wounds from weakness.
one
But he has
wound.
hit with at least one wound.
One of his weakness did miss everything though, which is a
Yeah.
big deal.
Do you actually have to do a wound with weakness, or
No, you just hit.
it's weakness and rolls the damage.
right? Because the wounds is just a special thing that the hexcasters do, right?
Yeah, they're an add-on.
Can I say
It's a really
how
nice
funny
unit,
it
that.
is that Hexcasters and Banshees and Nectar, who are all have spells that wound, are also spellcaster 0, so Hex doesn't work on them.
Right now, I think he's kicking himself that he didn't roll that 11 on the wounded one. Because wouldn't that have? Oh, but I guess you can't do that because they're in melee.
Yeah, I think combat. Yeah,
half-breed. Yeah, that's too bad. That would have picked them up, right? They're only 17.
He didn't do
would.
anything against the wounded one though.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not inspired, so it's very possible that he will pick him up just on the charge.
Yeah. So now we're on to the Mastiffs against the Mounted Suns, I think.
Yeah.
Do those Mastiffs have to crush against cavalry still?
Yes, the Abyssal ones do.
Nice.
Yeah, just 2 wounds. No waiver there.
No. But it's 2 free wounds that he probably shouldn't have got.
Yeah.
Sure. And now the Abyssals will crush these boxes into a fine paste, I think.
You would certainly hope so.
Although we expected the Mounted Suns to crush the Mastiffs into a fine paste.
Yeah.
He's managed to. He only did 19 damage.
Skipped a nerve.
only 19. Right, so it's a snow fox. It's a big old 80 points for Jeff.
Is that the first kills we've had?
That's Jeff's first kill, and Dan got the Black Souls, yeah. So they're each in 1 now.
Oh yeah, we don't have our rolling ticker tape of scores.
Yeah, I haven't brought it up yet because it was 115 to 0. I was like, let's wait for a couple more things to get killed, then bring it up. Because we kind of expect all 3 snow foxes to die this turn.
Yeah, we should do. Well, the golems actually and the black souls both hindered.
Yes.
It would actually be perfect for them not to kill them.
Yeah, waiver would be good there because then that makes it difficult because then he basically can't double charge either of those units.
Well, he's doing a good job so far. He's only done 2 damage to them.
Oof.
Ouch.
Oh, 2 damage. 2 damage from the golems, and now he's rolling the black souls.
3 hits there from the black souls as well.
He might not get them then.
He might waiver them though. That would be ideal.
Yeah, they're 9. They're 9, 11.
4. They're actually in a perfect waiver position there. It would be absolutely ideal if we could waiver them.
The vicious reroll, not get another wound. Yep, so that's 5.
Mm-hmm.
And they are 9, 11.
Yeah.
There's a 6. So that will pick them up.
Shame.
Yeah.
That would have been better for him to waiver them there.
Yep. Not a lot of wounds, but sometimes. I mean, the little chaff units like that, you don't need them.
So they're backing up, I'm guessing here, is he? Surely he's not going forward.
Yes. I mean, he can't really move the other golems back much. But doesn't that?
It has gone forward, but I suppose it's probably. Yeah.
Stop the charge on the golems.
It's not the double charge, and actually they're also in the front.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Since he only went forward 1 inch. If he'd gone forward 3, he might have been in trouble getting flanked by the ones on the hill.
Honestly, I don't think he cares about that because a double charge against him should kill. Actually, no, they'll be hindered. But
Hindered weakness. I mean, it's at the stage now where it's going to be a grind, isn't it? No matter what.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, he can't move the golems back far enough to have their front edge in the woods, so he can't hinder this one in
So
the
if he
open.
multi-charges, the unit on the left will be hindered.
Right, because
Yeah.
it'll touch this little bit of woods. Yep. And this one would start in the woods, yeah. So he'd end up with a double hindered charge.
It looks like there
And
might
he's-
be just enough space for multi-charge.
Yeah, and he's put weakness on the only one that's not going to be hindered, which is a nice touch.
Well, it should end up over here and touch this little bit of woods now, I think.
So remember,
Well, actually, the
one's
one's got
J-boots,
Strider,
hasn't
hasn't it?
Yeah,
This
one
one's
in the one's got J-boots.
Although that would be
That
the one
one's-
hardest to get in.
Right,
Well, it might do.
because the black souls are in the way. And that's now a 2-inch difference because the black souls went forward 1 and the golems went back.
Yeah, the only way I can see those guys getting in is if the center one backs up.
Yeah.
If center one backs up, then they can hit the golems first, and then the guys on the left can get in.
I really like weakness, Matt, but I think the problem with it is it's who gets it. There's not many casters that get weakness anymore. And
that's
I
gonna
think the
be
people
pretty
that get
much-
it normally have got a better spell by default.
So I think Trident Realm.
Trident Realm
Witness
would
game
work
would be
very well.
interesting.
Did he just
Oh,
snake
double-
those center foxes?
Yes,
Yes,
he
he
did.
did.
Oh!
Oh, that's big.
Oh!
Now the question is though, can the
Can the Knights get round?
Can
The
Knights get around? I don't think they can. I think it would take two
That's
pivots.
close.
I think you will do. You know.
All right, Mike, you already since you have
If they can
permission,
clear,
can you
if they
move
can clear
that
it without pivot, then that's
over to
a
the left a bit so we
That's
can see?
that's a dead grotesques.
yeah.
What were you asking me to do, Pat?
I don't know if you want it, but if you moved a damage marker on the Mastis, we could see a little bit clearer. But I don't know if you want to interfere that way.
I'd rather not.
Maybe we wait.
I think you can get past that.
Right, so he's
Yeah.
killed the first conclave.
Kill the first Magus Conclave, yep.
Yeah.
Let's see, that's 110 points.
It's a nice position there. I mean, it's going to be risky every turn with the shots he's taking, but in theory, he could pick up all 4 of those, and that's a big point swing if he can.
Yeah. And then it looks like there's not going to be much for him to get countercharged with.
No, and obviously there's all the shooting, but every time he kills one, it's less and less of a threat, and he's in cover, and he's individual.
See, that's actually one of the downsides of Dan deploying into cover is now that he's in there.
Yeah. Yeah, he's now protected.
Yeah.
Right, half-breed champ is going to be a big one.
Oh, nice.
4 out of 6
Okay.
hits.
Mhm.
And picks up another one with Vicious.
Is that the Blade of Slashing, I think, is it?
Oh,
Five
Yeah,
hits.
Blade Slashing. Oh, you're right, Blade Slashing. Not bad.
Oh, the Crush 2, is it?
Crush 2.
Or is it? Don't have any
Yes,
Thunderous,
it's
so
two.
only 2 damage. Yeah,
Yeah, so just 2. Still puts him at 8, need a 9. No.
yeah, they're fine. That's a shame.
So what do we think is going to happen to that? What Dan's going to do with that unit that's gone 8 damage then? Go for.
I think I can't charge the Grotesque.
So the guys in front could
Okay,
charge
yeah.
a mortar, and then the guys in back could charge the grotesque.
Yeah.
And then the J boots could charge the hex casters and then overrun into the grotesque.
Yeah. The other
Yeah.
option, of course, is that the if the ones on the hill charge one of the mortars, that should take them out of line of sight of the Grotesque.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, can I just say that the chat is just sending just smut now?
So we've had 2 big chat flubs now. But I think Jeff was worse.
Yeah, that was if they can get round. It doesn't look from my screen like they can get around without pivoting. No, they can. Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah. You can,
Oh yeah, that's bad. That's Mountain of Suns off a hill in the flank pad.
Yeah.
Where's he going with that?
So he's
He's
putting those guys into the
Middle war machine.
Using the second one. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, you don't. They are weakened though, so they're weakened and stripped of Thunderous. So you
But
will
get Thunderous from going over the hill.
They're not on the hill at the minute. So
They're not. Yeah, they're not majority on the hill.
Oh, the hill wouldn't matter because they're disordered.
Disordered anyway from being thumped.
Yeah.
So yeah, if he charges the J boots into the Hexcaster, I would go ahead and pop the J boots. He should be able.
Yeah,
potentially overrun. Oh, that's a big double one. That's it.
Yeah, that's definitely a big turning point for this match. Yeah, because it's a double one, so the Snow Foxes aren't even wavered, so they can easily countercharge the Mastiffs just to slide over.
Mastiffs, yeah, get them out of the way.
Get them out of the way, and you might get lucky and actually kill them. And in that case, there's like nothing in the center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you go in and double charge the golems then?
Wait a minute, what's he doing with the Foxes?
That could really bite him in the ass. I mean, that is a flank charge, but that is a flank charge with no modifiers.
Well, I think that's what he's doing. I think he's doubling down on the Grotesque.
Okay.
Right, here we go.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, wrong way. Not my left, your left.
It's actually worth pointing out that flank charge, since they're weakened and have no Thunderous, is only averaging 8 wounds. So they do need help from the front.
Yeah.
And those Snow Foxes are devastated, so they're not going to do much help.
No. Oh,
That's an interesting charge move there.
It's a slide.
Lock your axes.
Lock axis, please.
He is an individual, so you do have to actually go through the motions, because that does change how you hit. Or you could even potentially get in the flank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also, I mean, I think he can make it, but it's not guaranteed.
Yeah, no, you
He
can.
make
It's there. That's it. That's the angle. There you
And
go.
he slides over.
But as you say, it slides and it. Oh, he did that slightly wrong. But
the individual is supposed to turn to here, right?
Yeah.
It's
not like Dan
there you go.
wrote the rule or anything like that.
Yeah, there it is.
There you go.
Okay.
And then
So who
Dan
do you
slides.
think? Do you think Dan remembered, or do you think Jeff pointed out?
I think Jeff put
There
it
you
in.
go.
And that's
But it's
still
still
going to be a front on
It's
the
still a
overrun.
front at least, yeah.
Those Black Souls saved from an overrun.
And I'm guessing we didn't hear. Oh yeah, activate
Yeah,
Strider.
activate Strider. Yeah.
Yep, of course.
Yep.
So that's yeah.
All right. So this is shaping
So
up
what
to
do
be
you
a
do
big
with the
turn
rest?
for Dan. Yeah, what do you do with the rest? Do you send the other two double charge into the golems that are peeking out of the forest, or
No,
Yeah.
Then you
wait.
give it a flank.
I'd stay where they are.
Yeah, honestly,
That's
if,
on Dan.
you
Yeah.
don't
Don't
have
have
to charge
but I'd stay where they are.
now.
Yeah.
Or move back a little bit so they're
Just
out.
back up out of
charging
range.
themselves. Yeah.
Mhm. But this is Dan. Dan doesn't do backing up.
Right.
He might do. He might see it and back up, but
If he backs up, then he could get it to a point where only the guys on the far left are the only people anybody can charge.
yeah, or he could double charge the Black Souls, and that would keep the weak unit out of the forest, probably. But
I don't think he might not have the space to double charge, but he might.
I'd be interested to know what percentage of Jeff's points are actually held up in those hordes, and how much is in his individuals and his other stuff. Because even if he loses all of that, Dan's got a lot of points in Mountain of Suns.
It's got about 650 in Hexcasters and half-breed champions.
Yeah. Oh, he's double charged the
there,
Black Souls.
there comes a double charge.
Okay, yeah, that's that move.
So he's taking advice from me, which is probably bad.
Well, yeah, but ignored advice from me, which is definitely a good idea.
I think it's also. I don't think he's that scared of the golems, especially when they're hindered.
No.
Yeah,
They're
no.
only hitting on 5s coming out of the woods.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they are crushed too, but
But just an
I mean,
interesting
another
thing.
double one.
Yeah.
Y'all in the UK normally play 2K, right? 2,000 points.
We did do in version 2. I don't think we've really had enough of version 3 to
Yeah.
decide yet. I think in version 3, I think 2300 plays better, personally.
I do too.
But I do like 2K. It makes you make more decisions.
2K is fun. The biggest thing is I think it really benefits Alpha Strike.
Yeah, it does.
Because there's less support units to help the grind out.
is that Magnild going into the? Yes, it is into the
Yeah.
upgrade. Yeah.
Yep. Half-breed, they're kind of basically leaving the Magus Conclaves to their own
Moving back.
devices.
Absolutely shoot. Well, that and the Magus down there, so it's all going to be on dice, but there's a good chance there I can take him out. Well, there's a reasonable chance.
Yep.
Good.
Half-breed champs are 12-14, and he does already have 4 wounds on it, so
Needs
another
to do
4
3
wounds.
3 or 4 more, yeah.
Yeah, puts him in danger. That's probably just about all Dan's moving. Probably. He's only charged with every unit. Like, what else is there
1,
for
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So it
Bottom of turn
definitely
3, all 6 mounted suns hit.
Yeah, because there's not enough wounds on all those mounted suns, really.
No.
He has a
You would have hoped for a bit more damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, his shooting came up almost completely empty last turn. That's
Mhm.
that hurts.
There's only one really that's in any kind of danger range, and yeah.
That's now engaged.
It's now engaged, and it's too close for the mortars to shoot at it, even once it frees up.
He's got 300 points of mortar sat there in the backfield now unprotected. So
Yeah.
And McNeil will be probably 20 inches away from the right-hand side one, possibly. Just a bit out.
Just can't see it
out.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course,
so
to the hill
much
away.
so.
Yeah.
Is Bane Chant on the unhindered but weakened unit, so up here.
Yeah.
Balances it back out.
That's shooting. Oh,
Just the one. Oh no, that was elite. First one misses. Second one. Oh no, elite. Second one misses. So it looks like the half-breed is going to at least get another. Yeah, it's fine. Just.
Round, yeah. Yep. So he'll eat another Magus Conclave next turn.
Yeah. So he's going to definitely make his points back, if not more, there. Because obviously every time he kills one, it takes his odds of getting shot down. And he's regioning every turn.
Yep. 140, 145 for the half-breed and 110 for Magus Conclave. So, yeah.
Jeff looks in a bad position, and it's not great. But
he's got knights coming into his side. Yeah, he's very bad
he
position.
does, but he's still got really tough units and really
Yeah.
has some ways of dealing with it. He could do with it being a turn later in the game. Or a turn or two later in the game.
It is very early to have mounted suns all over the place. I mean, really, the biggest problem is that mounted suns that's going against the Angkor.
I think Magnil just killed a half-breed. I think Magnil did. Magnil took out that half-breed.
Oh, that's a shame.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, it's 12-14. It's not a massive ask.
Yeah.
And it was already on
Especially
damage.
already wounded.
Yeah.
So that was the one with Bane Slash. That's 150 points.
Yeah.
Which is only 25 less than McNeil's gone.
Mm.
Simon Brand's comment, if Call to Arms is anything to go by, 2,300 points just gets you more of the same units.
It's tricky. I mean, I completely agree at, say, 2,500. I think at 23 and 3rd edition, everything got made just a little bit more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I think 2,300 is more like what 2K was at version 2.
I think
And
also
2K now.
I think Call to Arms, by its very nature being virtual, just creates spam lists very easily because people can try out weird ones that
Yeah.
they'd never think of putting the effort into paint.
Yeah, I think that the
Unless you
biggest thing is most people don't play spam lists in real life because they don't want to
Unless
paint
you're
the same models that many times. Yeah, unless you're Nick or
Unless you Nick.
one of the dojo players.
Yeah. All right. So
Or
here's
Adam.
the
Basically,
Strider.
I think it's a Northern King thing.
Here's the Strider mounted sons against the character, the individual there. X-caster.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh dear.
Ooh,
Oh,
only
what?
6 wounds is a.
only 6.
6 and an
but
8.
is
Is he
he?
inspired?
That's enough.
Oh,
Yeah.
got him.
No, he's dead.
That's enough.
That's gonna hurt.
2-inch overrun is
inches.
still enough.
Yeah, straight in.
That's
It was
going to
low
hurt.
damage, but it averaged it back out to what it should have been.
Because as you said, that flank charge actually isn't as as certain as it seemed. But I think it's pretty certain now.
Yeah.
Here we go.
With them in the front, especially since
14
they have
hits.
7 damage.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's dropped a bit of damage.
So he should do another 7 to 8 on the flank.
Why is
And
that-
that should be
24 hits.
10 wounds.
10 wounds?
Wound roll. Yep.
Pretty good. That puts him on snakes, right? That's 17.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not devastated if he does roll snakes, though.
Mhm.
Especially
Yeah.
after regen.
He's not inspired, I don't think, is he?
Does not look like it.
No, I think he is. Oh no, that's not the inspiring hexcaster. You're right, he's not. And there's a 10.
Super dead.
They're all in doubles.
Oh.
That is
So
a pretty
what
big
would
swing.
what do you think Jeff's next move would be to recover from this?
Cry, panic.
Turn everything just
I don't know.
to face.
It's a
Stand in the
shame
corner
for
of
him now,
face.
actually, that there's them. Yeah. Did Dan countercharge the dogs on the left?
I would
I-
assume so, yeah.
I
Yeah,
assume.
because at this stage, you actually almost want them to be alive because they're just in the way there.
Yeah, they're just no way to master.
Because he has still got a half breed, another hexcaster. You know, he's got.
He's got 2 more
Tools, just-
hexcasters.
Yeah, he needs his next turn to kill at least one regiment, I think, of Mount Sons.
And the thing is,
turn.
that those 2 mortars, they still have targets.
Yeah.
They can't shoot this stuff super close, but they still have targets, and they can change the face of the game pretty quickly.
Yep.
But if you're relying on 4 shots that hit on 6s, that's a pretty big ask.
Okay, so Dan's moved 1.5 inches to.
Ooh,
Yeah, he's-
that's going
Right.
to lock up his other guys though.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, he can't turn around now.
yeah. He can't turn any directions because
No.
it's 180 pretty much.
You do kind of
Oh,
total reform, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah, that was a bit of a mistake, I think. Though.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Mounted Suns into a cannon. No doing more. Yeah, that's.
I see. By stepping sideways, he's kept those guys from doing anything except turning completely around.
Yeah.
And now those mortars are safe. Where before you would have been able to pick up another one.
Yeah, because this
It should be worth doing. It's a lot of fun.
sidestep. Yeah, the one that sidestep can see this one now, but now,
Yeah.
yeah, like you say, this one's
Yeah.
turned around and can't see anything. And you kind of want this one to
I mean,
go into
what-
the flank of something over
Yeah.
Yeah.
here. So this is probably the foxes.
Yeah, because they're devastated.
Devastated?
It's only 5 attacks.
Yep.
Only 1 hit, and vicious does 1 wound.
You ready for the waiver? No, so.
Yeah. All right, so the Mounted Sons will have something to kill. They can kill dogs.
Yeah.
Right. They can overkill dogs. All right.
Okay, combat over here. Can the knights finally do their job? No.
Because he kind of hopes not now.
Right,
It would
because
be
if
better
it
for him
clears it
not
up,
to
then
kill
he's just going to get grotesques in the face.
I
Gives a
mean,
grotesque
yeah.
something to do.
Yeah, because if he can get through to Grotesque with the half-breed champion, then he can turn the flank on the left side.
Mm.
And we'll see a reestablishment of the battle lines pretty much.
Right, Dan definitely racking up a lot of points here in turn 3. There's just what, the one more combat to do?
Yeah, the half-breed down below is not wavered, correct?
Yeah, it's fine.
So.
It was one shot of a waver, so that should be another conclave next turn.
Yeah.
You know, he could do with a good regen roll because it's close nerve rolls every time. 5 damage for
Yep.
12-14.
I feel like every turn it goes on down there, it tips more in the half-breed's favor because they've got less shots to send back, and he'll regen a little bit.
Yeah. But it just needs one good roll.
Yep. So now on to the combat in the middle against the Black Souls. He's rolling them individually, of course, because one of them's hindered. Looks like the unhindered one with Bane Chan weakness managed 6 wounds. Black Souls, of course, 14-16.
9 hits from the second one.
Should be only 8 because they're hindered.
Oh, yeah. Well, they've forgotten. Oh, that should only be 5 damage.
18, 6, 6, and 7.
It won't matter anyway. Yeah.
It's dead.
Just enough.
Yep. More points. 15 points. And that's the last combat, yep?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's update the scores then. See what Dan did this turn.
Now, that's a funny place there for the...
What on earth's he done with that unit?
Well, it's tricky because the Mountain Suns... He's got the Grotesque, hasn't it, to worry about as well?
Mm-hmm. I would rather give the Grotesque a flank, because if the Grotesque get a flank, then they're in the middle of all these other Mounted Suns.
Mm.
And if the Grotesque take that flank, they're not taking the guys on the left. The guys on the left would allow them to not be so surrounded.
Turn 4.
So that was obviously a good turn for Dan, but I think if Jeff can get a strong turn here, it's not as all over as I first thought, because if he can turn his battle line around to face them again, he's been massively flanked on one side, but actually it's not going to be really impossible to spin and face them.
He's also only lost one key unit.
Yeah.
I've talked about how Dan only has 6 combat units. Jeff actually really only had 4 heavy hitters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he's lost 1 mortar, but his mortars aren't doing much this game.
Yeah,
I think this is. He's basically lost chaff and unlocked, right?
Mm.
It's interesting with the kill scenario. You're seeing a lot more, at least in this game. Yeah, have people taking more individuals and more war machines because the unit strength doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also the points are easier to preserve out if you need to.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was a regen roll that Jeff did on his half-breed champ down there fighting the Magus Conclaves and didn't get any. Yeah, that's gonna hurt. We're sending golems into the front.
So what do you do? Do you send the half-breed in as well? I think you've got to double down there. Oh no.
Punch through with the Grotesques and the half-breed. Can they fit?
No, see, I would have sent the half-breed in as well against those Mountain Suns. I think you've got to try and break them.
Well, the problem is there's golems that are hitting on 5, so there's not a lot of damage they can output from those.
And I think he's also now blocked his Grotesque from charging.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah,
he's,
there we are.
There we go.
He's putting them back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Realize he's doing it in the wrong order.
So his best chance of picking somebody up is going to be charging the Mountain Suns on the left with the half-breeds and the Grotesques.
Yep.
Yes.
But that actually might hinder their Grotesques too.
Yeah, so I would send both in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that then slides the golems across and...
Yep. Leaves room for the Grotesque to get in. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I would put both your weaknesses on the ones with the golems in. because that's the combat you need to win this turn.
Yeah.
Do you put both of them in, or do you prepare for the charges later on?
Well, he's lost one Hexcaster, so he's only got one on that side. He'll have to pull the one that was all the way over here by his Mastiffs over. Or at least turn him that direction. No, he'll have to move them because his Mounted Sun's in the way. He won't be able to see.
That Hexcaster's pretty isolated over there. There's not a lot we can do. He needs to move.
Except wave at Bagnilled.
Well, I mean, he can still shoot the guys coming in on the flank. He might be able to pick up that Mounted Suns with 8 wounds.
Yeah, he might.
Yeah.
Not sure if that was hindered there from the. I think it probably will have been from the Grotesque into the Mounted Suns.
I hope not, because that'd be bad.
Yeah. Grotesque already don't do a huge amount of wounds hitting on 4s. The Vicious helps, but...
Are they Thunderous and Crushing, or are they just Crushing?
They are Crush 1, Thunder 2 for Grotesque, so
Yeah.
every hit should be a wound.
Crush 1, Thunder 2 with Vicious, yeah.
Might even be going back to check now. Yeah, it was.
And they're also brutal, which might come into play.
Oh, it's one of these ones we have to zoom right in again, isn't it?
Because of course, if you can make it into combat without pivoting, you have to do.
It's straight ahead.
So
You can make it- yeah,
it's fine.
it's fine. He doesn't. He misses. So that's 18 on 4s. Killing on 2s.
Yeah,
Is
Steve,
this-
there's no surge in the list. It's actually quite expensive to get surge into a Wizard of Orpheus, isn't it? I think you've either got to invest in it heavily or not bother.
Yeah. And with just
There's
2
not-
Golem regiments, it's not worth it.
I feel
Yeah,
like
they're not like
if
some
you
armies where you
brought
can get.
if you brought an Ironcaster and instead went for heal, giving him the Shroud, then Surge is more of a bonus than
Yeah.
a...
I mean, it might be quite nice to have the Surge 4 item on one of your weakness casters,
yeah.
just for that
It-
one opportunity where it's.
Yeah.
Well, it also just makes people, it keeps them honest.
Right. Even just a 1-inch pivot and surge.
So there's a few ifs here, but
Yeah.
if he can kill the Mountain of Suns with the half-breeds in them, and he can turn, that's actually not looking as scary. You're still facing down 3 regiments, but you're facing them in the front with hindered. It's
So what's he going to do with his Hexcaster in the woods, though? Because aren't the Grotesques too tall for him to be able to see the Mounted Suns they're fighting with?
I think he'll shoot at the one on 8 damage.
You think he's going to focus on that one, probably?
Oh, both weakness into there.
If you
And
can
both
waver
both.
it or kill it, that's a lot of attacks going, because the one that killed the mortar can't now see anything, can it?
Just the
Just the
Mastiffs.
Mastiffs went once the other one
Yeah.
moved out of the way.
So actually, then you're only dealing with 2 Mountain of Sun regiments, which is still not nothing.
Right.
And it's possible actually that the second from left is blocked. So
This one.
things
yeah.
have started to sort of grind up. Yeah.
Yep.
Although actually you can probably multi-charge, can't you? Because the golems are height 4 out there.
I don't think so.
Yes, they are height 4.
Are they height 4?
Yeah, they're taller. Yeah.
Oh, they are. Interesting.
You Grotesque height 4 as well.
Yeah, I knew the Grotesque were because they're cav, but most monstrous infantry is height 3.
The
isn't it?
golems are, and they're
They're taller, like they were height 3 in version 2. And so now
Yeah,
they're height
okay.
4.
So they had a
and they're
growth
on
spurt.
and they're on 50 mil bases as well.
Yeah, the monstrous rather than large.
Rather than large.
Large,
I
yeah.
see. Oh, yeah, they are monstrous. Interesting. Okay.
Might have something to do with the
the
fact that Mantic made great big models for them.
So I
Are
think
you,
it's the
are you
first-
suggesting the rules match the miniature there, Elliot?
Yeah, tell that to all the poor Giga Hordes out there that had to have a growth spurt.
So I think that's the first mortar missing, trying to hit these the wounded mounted sons on a 5, which normally would have hit, but again they're stealthy, and the other mortar misses as well. So stealthy kind of paid for itself right there, because
Absolutely,
like on the one with 8 wounds probably would have picked it up on its own.
Yeah. So the question is, can the golems and the half-breed punch through that single
On the
unit?
left, yeah.
I can't see it. I can't see it. I think
It would be. Are they
some
inspired
good-
at all? Oh, there's a scald there, isn't there? So they are inspired as well.
Yeah.
Skull back here, yeah. Yeah, they are both.
Are we on weakness?
Looks like now he's rolling weakness. Yeah.
somewhere.
On the mounted sons that were already.
Oh yeah, the ones already damaged. Yeah.
Did 2 wounds. Oh, that's a vicious reroll, isn't it?
Yeah, it's only a 6 to wear with them.
And he's still got one more.
He's not inspiring anywhere near there.
So does he put it on the same one, or does he try and spread weakness around?
Well, he can't really see anything with the other caster, can he? Oh, except that unit, I guess.
It's going to put it on the undamaged unit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that way, the 2 that you know are coming in next turn are both weakened. Oh, but
not weakened, but not damaged.
Nope, nothing. Needs at least force to hit there, and rolls a 1, a 2, and a 2.
One hits, yeah. So
I guess we'll see if he gets lucky on the nerve roll on the one that's already got 9 wounds on it.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking for what is he looking for? They're an 8 and they're uninspired.
Yeah. A wave will do.
Drum roll.
I will do. That's an 11.
Oh, 11 are out.
Yeah.
I will pick them up.
That's helpful for him.
That's pretty big. Yep.
Yeah, because now that the guy who at the top can't really see much besides dogs.
No, so you're down to 2. Possibly, well, yeah.
Your cannons have got 2.
You've only actually got 1 regiment. Yeah, you've got 1 regiment amount of sons that have got a free charge anywhere they want, and then 1 that probably can only multi-charge the golems.
I don't know that they can even get in, because they're awfully close to the one that's already in, and I don't know that those guys, when they slide over enough, will make enough space.
So if they charge the golems,
Potentially
then
not.
you should be able to slide them over to the left enough.
But you wouldn't. You charge the half breed.
Yeah. Yeah, if you charge a half breed, then you'll definitely slide over.
Oh yeah,
in
of course, yeah.
Double charge the half breed.
Well, they can't see the half breed, can they? So you have to charge the half breed with the first ones, and then charge the golems the second ones.
Mm-hmm. And you have Bane Chant there, so you should be able to get through the half breed.
So it killed the snow foxes this time.
Snow foxes.
Oh, he hasn't killed the conclave.
No.
Ooh.
On a 3, will not get them.
Yeah. So he's disordered it, of course, so it's not shooting him, but...
I think that's actually a waiver, because it's 11-13, right? Yeah.
Hmm.
No, it's not a waiver.
Well, I mean, now it doesn't really matter because it can't really do anything, but...
True. All right, moving on to see if the grotesque can punch through these mounted sons over here.
The biggest thing that changes is...
Oh, that's not good.
Oh no, 11 hits, sorry, that is good. Because it 2s, is it?
Yeah, 2s with vicious, so those 4 rolls, that's a vicious reroll, so 2 more wounds on vicious.
That's right, I missed 18 hits, yeah. 11 hits.
Yeah, I did. I thought that was...
I
thought that was 5
the
hits.
other one. I thought 5 hits, not shit, that's bad.
Should look at it.
Hi, Steve, 3-year-old. What's his name?
Son of Steve.
Or
Luke.
daughter of Steve.
Hey, Luke, how you doing?
Hello.
And that's going to be 9 more wounds.
Oh, 11.
So he has 6.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, and he's fine. Not even wavered.
Oh!
That's
That's
big.
unlucky.
So that's a potential corkscrew into that half breed.
Yeah, I was looking at that earlier. It'll be close. Yeah, probably can do it.
That's really close.
But I don't think you'll bother. I think you do what John said. I think you just countercharge, so you can free up the other ones. Wavered, are they?
Oh, because they're brutal.
Oh
course,
yeah. Okay.
See?
No
that-
fury.
Brutal. Comes into play.
Ah,
Yep.
Yep. Is that nothing? No? What are they, crushing 1?
crushing 2 of the
Crushing 2
Golems, yeah.
vicious.
2 to go?
And that's your
And that's
So
the
only
half-breed.
6
Support
hits.
damage.
half coming in.
4 more damage.
Nice.
9.
Yeah.
It's 8 twice. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, they're brutal again. So, Wayward, is it?
No,
Are
not
the
4.
golems brutal as well?
I don't think so.
They're
No.
not.
They're not.
They're not now. The Earth Elementals got brutal, didn't they? Kind of assume they get everything
Yeah.
the Earth Elementals get.
Okay, so we've got 2 heavily damaged units of knights. And 3
That's good
virtually
though, and there's no flank charge coming into any of those.
Mhm.
And this is what we're saying, that the grind doesn't suit down here.
Yeah.
Again, it's turned around a bit. 11 and 9 damage on those knights, and there's no damage at all on any of those 3 units of Jeffs.
And he does have the knights on the left should be picking up next turn, and then he'll have fresh protests and
Yeah.
I would assume injured golems.
And I've said I'm not sure even 2 regiments killed a golem horde. in
So I
one
mean,
go.
here's a potential though. You could charge all 3 in.
It is wide enough. You're right.
You could charge all 3 in. They would be able to fit because the one on the that's already engaged would slide all the way to the left.
You're right. They definitely fit. Yeah.
Everybody
Yep.
would be hindered though.
Yeah. Hindered or disordered. Yep. There you are. Called it.
So if
That
you're
does
Jeff,
all
do you,
seem-
Seeing if he could.
if you're Jeff, do you feel pretty good about how that turn went? Like, you left yourself in
I
a
think
pretty
so.
decent
I think-
position.
Yeah, I
I
think.
feel better if I killed the guys on the left, but otherwise,
Yeah.
True.
It could
True.
only have
But
gone
at least-
better, really. Well, yeah. Or if you
At least
killed
got
the
the
ones
waiver.
with the golems.
yeah, the best one would have been killing one of the 2 knight units.
Mhm.
Or both. And a Conclave.
Yeah, that would have
And
been
a
very
combo.
lucky though.
Right.
Getting 11 damage on that and 9 damage was quite good. Quite good dice rolling. Be better than
And bottom of turn 4, Dan continuing to just go all in with everything, which I think is kind of what you have to do with this sort of list.
Yeah.
Just go at him hard and
So-
keep going.
Even with a triple charge, it's not a guarantee to kill. Assuming he gets a Bane Chan off, you're looking at about 12 wounds on average. So if one of them rolls a bit low and his nerve isn't great, and Jeff is inspired right now, you can look at those knights bouncing, in which case the half-breed can pick up the wounded guys, and if 2 golems can double charge a single one.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Knight's going into the Mastiffs.
Going into pretty much the only thing that you can see.
Didn't
'cause
have any
they-
choice.
Yeah, they wouldn't be able to get around them.
Will go into the
The
Hexcaster.
Yep. Well, so that will put the Mounted Suns far enough away for one of the mortars to take a shot at them, but not the other one, depending on how they reform. Yep. And there she goes.
Yep.
That'll leave him with, assuming she should certainly at least disorder that Hexcaster. That'll just leave him with 1 source of weakness for next turn.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going to happen down here? Are we going to get rid of the half-breed?
I don't know. He didn't get any regens last turn, so that leaves him in kind of a vulnerable position. But he's only got the 1 conclave that can shoot. And
Why is he moving? He doesn't need to move him. Why is Dan
Yeah.
moving it?
Yeah, I don't know why he's moving. He's got this
He did eventually.
Magus and one conclave to shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he's realizing that he doesn't need to move. Yeah, so it's, I don't know. I think it's definitely been a couple of really good turns for Dan here. Jeff's shooting didn't really do as much on the way in as I'm sure he would have hoped. And now that Dan's kind of got on him, we'll see how the grind fares.
Yeah.
I mean, Jeff could really do with surviving that triple charge.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tricky one. I mean,
Yep.
is there a weakness anywhere on those?
Yeah, there's just this one Hexcaster in the wood still.
But do any of the... One of them's got weakness, hasn't it? That was also hindered. I think the one in the middle.
No,
Oh, no,
he
missed-
did
missed,
both
didn't it?
weakness against the injured guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Dan's doing his shooting. I think he was looking for a Bane Chant over there.
So it looks like he did 1 damage with lightning bolt onto the
Yeah.
half-breed, so it's back up
And
to 6 again.
And was that a waiver for the nerve roll? Yep. So he's
Yeah.
wavered
Yeah,
the
wavered.
half-breed.
Yeah.
So
It's not the end of
Next
the world.
turn.
They should be able to hopefully regen a bit and hold out.
yeah, but that does mean that he doesn't get to disorder one of the Magus Conclaves. That means next turn all 3 of them will be able to shoot at him.
It also means that turn 5 he can't charge the Magus at all. Because turn 5 he'll have to charge.
Yeah, if
another
we're out
one.
of turns.
Yep. So here's Magnil beating up on the Hexcaster in the middle of the table.
He lives.
Yeah. 3 1s. Only picked up 1 more hit with Elite. Yeah.
Okay. Niggits. These will be hitting on 4, damaging 4s for the woods. Crushing strength 1.
All right.
No, hold on. Where's that? Okay. Sorry. No.
Oh,
I'm
that's
looking at the
the,
other one. Yeah, I was looking at
the
Lug Dogs.
Mastiffs.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Don't
Yeah.
go on. Which is the blue
That's just-
circles on the night unit.
Yeah.
Dan, use your damn markers.
So looks like he's given himself the option to go for the mortar as well, isn't he, next turn?
Yeah.
And this one hit, so he's just out of 12 from the one on the right, so they can take a pot shot at him, but he's too close for the one that he's lined up on.
Yeah.
And Magnil didn't polish off that Hexcaster, but he's not going to be casting weakness on anything next turn. All right, now I think we're on to the triple charge.
All right, so this is the unhindered one, the counter charging.
Did you
Yeah.
get Bane Chant off on that one successfully?
Not sure. We'll see.
So that's either 4 wounds or 6 wounds. 4 wounds. So he did not get Bane Chant.
No, then yeah.
So just 4. And then the others will need 4s to hit.
4s and 5s, yeah, for the rest of them. So
Yeah, 13 hits pretty good.
He's doing it individually, so I'm guessing he got Bane Chant off on one of them.
Oh.
Only 1 damage.
Just 1 wound. Ugh.
$11 hits.
So 11 hits still, so rolling over average to hit, and another 5 wounds.
5 damage. That's averaged out.
that's still what the fearless 18 or fearless 17.
17. So there's a
He's
7-1, so he needs
inspired.
it one more time. They are inspired. He needs it one more time. Oh, 6. He's
Oh.
gonna miss by 1.
It's alive.
It's alive, and they don't waver, so
No. That's a big
Yep.
deal, is that?
that is.
Because then you've got a half breed there that can hopefully finish off the 1 on 9 damage, and then you've got a charge with each of the golems.
I think you single charge or you double charge one of them because the other one will be hindered. So you don't have to worry about Thunderous.
This could be Jeff's game.
Yeah.
You know, the thing's Jeff's game now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's
Missing by
gonna kill
one
enough.
there's a big deal.
Yeah, it's going to kill enough now.
So can that unengaged one see the center mounted suns?
No.
No, it's out of arc,
No,
I
they're
think.
just out.
So regen 2 damage on the half-breed. So yeah, it's a question of do you double charge the one on the right that you can do, or do you go one-on-one for each of them?
One on
Say
one.
double charge the one.
Yeah.
Double charge the one on the right. You need to pick up units.
Yeah.
And it means the one in the middle is hindered at whatever it does.
It's hindered
charge.
again, yeah.
Oh, if you go one-on-one, now all of a sudden both of them are counter-charging.
And 2 of those together have a pretty good shot actually of killing a mounted sun unit. The crushing 2 is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Five.
Especially since one of them is
Oh, yeah.
counter-charging, so he'll still be hitting on fours.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Now he won't be able to get weakness on him because those grotesque will block line of sight.
Yeah.
He might be able to get weakness to help the half-breed hit the one or on the unengaged one maybe. But the biggest downside of weakness caster is they don't have the mounts and they are super slow. I mean, they're speed 5, they're faster in dwarf, but
And I think this one kind of central mortar maybe can't shoot anything because
Can it maybe see a conclave? Probably not. Actually, can it?
no, I think
My
the cars
question
are
is-
Conclaves are the only things that aren't individuals or stealthy. Well, actually,
Yeah.
they might have stealthy.
they have stealthy. And they're
Yeah.
in cover, so you're looking at a one shot.
Yeah,
It
the mortars don't
ignores
care
cover.
about cover.
Oh yeah, they don't give out cover, that's right.
And the half-breed being an individual doesn't block line of sight to it, so that's kind of his only shot since all the other mounted suns are either engaged or too close.
I don't know if you can shoot it though, since the half-breed is engaged and he is mighty.
Not down here? At the bottom?
Yeah.
Or you mean over here?
At the one at the bottom.
At the bottom? I think he's turned the half-breed so it's not engaged.
Because
If you're... Don't individuals
Yeah,
never block
you-
line of sight?
oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah.
So they never block line of sight, but if you're engaged, you can't be targeted by shooting still.
Right.
And unless you're yielding.
Right.
So yeah, it looks like he did disengage with the half rate, so he has an option of shooting.
So he does, yeah. So he might try to take a pot shot with a mortar on an already wounded Magus Conclave, which, I mean, it's not a great thing to do, but if it's literally the only thing you could shoot at on the table, I guess you roll the dice anyway.
It's better than
Yeah.
shooting nothing.
Better than just sitting there, yeah. So top of turn 5 here.
He's thinking
Dan
about
still,
it.
yeah, he's thinking about it. Dan still with a more than 300 point lead.
But there's 400
That
points
could
plus on
change
the board.
really
That's
quickly
very,
here.
very badly damaged, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Jeff should pick
So,
up
right.
about 450 points, but he could pick up close to 700
yeah.
this turn.
Yeah, we got double charge on the unit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think that is a good choice. I mean, the middle horde is as good as dead effectively now.
Yeah.
But you might as well put a lot of damage onto one.
Yeah.
It makes
maybe
it
a
easier
break
to
in
clean
turn.
up later with shooting too.
It's also unlikely to be inspired, I think, is that one rather than the middle one.
Yep. that's
Oh
too
yeah,
far.
Yeah.
Good point. And Magnild's way over here, and those are only two. Well, his third inspiring stores is still down here with the conclaves. So yeah. And that gives you a little bit of space here to slide the Hexcaster over to see the mounted suns on the end that you're going to send the half-breed camp into.
or even it's whether you even bother putting the weakness onto the 1-on-1 damage instead.
Oh yeah, just so it's weak on the counter
Ju-
or
just
on
for
its
the
charge. Yeah, because it'll be on in the open there, so that'll be an unhindered charge next turn against your already dead horde.
Mm.
Already as good as dead horde with 10 wounds.
Or you make certain on the half breed.
Yeah.
I'd maybe make certain actually. Just put a few more points of damage on the one the half breeds in combat with.
Yeah, I think that's what I would do too, because you really when you want your last unit of grotesques over here to polish off the mounted sons that were wavered last turn, you really want them to turn and have like just one target that they want to hit.
Yeah.
Next turn, you don't want them to have to pick between 2 mounted sun units.
Matt Kroger did ask a question about why Jeff changed his style of list. He did in the beginning say it was a lot to do with kill. Because Jeff does normally play lists where everything has unit strength. He usually doesn't like individuals in particular. He's not I think he's not a huge fan of war machines, but I think he has taken one of his dwarves. But I think that's one reason why he's changed his style of list. But we'll definitely ask him at the end.
Yeah. That's probably going to be all of Jeff's movement, I think. So we're expecting him
He's
to.
away from McNeil.
He did.
I think
He was just trying to run away, I guess. Still can't be seen by anything else. Do you try to pull Magnil back over to where the rest of the action is, though, or do you try to pull?
I was going to say I would have run away the other direction.
Yeah.
If you run the other direction, then Magnil has to choose between finishing you off or getting back towards everything else.
Yeah, and that's not even the inspiring one. The inspiring one is already over there, so it's not like he's moving it closer to gain inspiring.
If you moved it closer to the wall, that would have isolated Magnil if she did follow.
All right, big shot from this mortar. On the
is Magnil within 20 inches of the grotesque or of the golems?
18, I think she might be.
I mean, he might have moved there because he figured Magnil was going to go help out anyway, and he wanted to get out of line of sight for shooting.
Could be. Looks like he's measuring distance for that mortar on probably the Magus Conclave. And once again, there's a 5 that doesn't hit because of stealthy. I think that's the second time. Oops.
He's got him frustrated. He's throwing his war machines away.
God damn it!
Waiting for that virtual table flip.
I mean, it does show you the strength of war machines and stealthy. That the amount of 5s we've rolled, this would be in a completely different game, wouldn't it? Without without that stealthy on.
Is that a failure to roll weakness? Looks like.
Yeah, it looks like it. Second time in a row.
Yeah.
Shouldn't matter with the amount of attacks that the half-breed has, but it could do.
Shouldn't matter. Yeah. But Jeff's really come up short on shooting for this whole game, I feel like.
Okay, where are we going here? 5 attacks.
I think this is half-breed combat.
Yep.
So 4 damage with the vicious reroll.
Yep. So it puts him at what, 13?
Yeah.
And a 5 will get him.
Yeah.
All right, so that's 1 unit of mounted sons down.
What do you do? Do you run forward? Yeah. Put yourself in a out of out position for next turn.
Yep.
Yeah, because you want to make sure you're well out of the way to let the grotesque get in, and then you go whatever.
That should have happened, but it's good for Jeff.
Yep. All right, now see if the grotesque can do their job over here on the already heavily wounded unit of mounted sons on the far left.
Back in 5 minutes, guys.
Okay. Yeah, that should be good for them because they weren't disordered from last round, so they still had all the thunderous since they wavered them the last turn. Go with 3. 3 should probably still get them, though. The amount of damage you did, yeah. Yep. Now just turning them to face. So his charge for next turn is pretty obviously lined up to go after those mounted suns on the end. Now we'll just see if these two grotesques together can do anything to the
If
Strider.
you can
mounted
pick that
sun.
up, then all of a sudden Jeff's odds are pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, killing the 2 units of mounted suns has already given him a slight points advantage for this round. I think I should turn that off. It's not accurate.
If he kills this final one, all of a sudden you're looking at 3 hordes versus 2 regiments.
John and Elliot have both left. Is it like tea time in England right now or something I don't know about?
What time is it there? It's 1:30. It's 1:30 tea time.
I don't know. I feel like I have enough British friends that I should know that. All right.
We'll never gather
So that's a 10. Oh, that's a 10 and a 7 for a nerve check. That's a 17.
That's a kill.
That gets him.
Yep.
All right.
No inspiring.
Yeah, just being out of inspiring hurt him really bad right there. That
is huge. I mean, you
really
assume that the center golems will die.
Yeah.
But then you have to trade of the mounted suns should die for that effort.
Yeah, that is a big swing.
So you're looking at mounted suns kill golems, grotesques and half-breed champions kill mounted suns. And all of a sudden you're looking at the golems and the grotesques against what should be a wounded mounted sun regiment.
Yeah, and that's going to put Jeff up by just over 300 points. Going into bottom of 5. Yeah. So that was a big swing term.
It's because the Brits left.
It's because they left. The moral support was gone.
Yep. Telling you to let your country down.
Cheers.
So
he
we've
lost
seen.
it.
Yep, he lost both units, and now it's 2 mounted sun regiments against 3 hordes.
Yeah. So that was actually 3 mounted sun regiments in 1 turn, right? Because the half breeds picked them up, the grotesques picked them up, and both golem hordes managed to pick one up. Yep. Well, that is a huge loss. That's basically half of his hammers that he started with gone in 1 turn.
Yeah.
And now he's only got 2 left, and he's looking at 3 pretty beefy units that he needs to try to get rid of. You basically can't do anything to those grotesques at this point, right? Like nobody can get to them. They're not hurt. Magnil doesn't have line of sight to get in their way. So do you single charge the golems with each?
I think you only have single charges besides Magnil because it looks like the injured one doesn't need multi-charge.
Yeah.
But it looks like the fresh one, the mounted suns are in its flank, so it can't get to her.
Good point. Yep. So you pretty much have to go 2 single charges, and
you can pop if Magnil's in range. You can pop fly and go after the golems as well.
yeah.
Oh, did they kill the mounted suns?
They got 3 mounted suns. Last turn.
Yeah.
I stepped
Me and you left, and then suddenly all the table got split. I suspect shenanigans. I'm going for shenanigans.
Yeah.
9, 12, 15, 18, 19, 20. I think Magnil just barely clips that corner, that close corner of those golems. So I think if he wanted to, he could pop fly and make it in there. She would end up in the woods, hindered, because she's on this side.
So is it better for her to charge hindered and to have hindered mounted suns, or for her to block and make it so that the mounted suns aren't hindered?
You need mounted suns not hindered, otherwise you've got problems.
Yeah, because she can fly and land. She can fly and land out of the forest.
Other option, of course, is just don't engage those golems now. Go for the mortars, go for the hexcasters, go for points wherever else you can, except that you don't have enough units left to win that fight.
He does have line of sight on that mortar, so he could go hit that.
I don't think he has enough. So I mean, he could kill both mortars if he pops fly with Magdale to get the other one.
Sure.
But I don't think that puts him up by enough points. I think that's point for a draw at that point, at best.
Yeah, I mean he's down 300 points, and we're pretty sure this unit will die to the grotesques, and whichever golem horde is still alive, or just the half breeds and the grotesques might be able to do it.
So he should be able to pick up the other golems with none of sons, but then lose them. So that's a net loss, barely, I think, for him.
With golem hordes up to 15.
So it's about the same.
Yeah.
Are we looking at another draw?
I think we might be close to it.
It depends on what Dan does. If Dan goes for the artillery, he could stay away far enough to just get a draw. And then it comes down to like the base conclaves down the bottom, maybe to push him over. But if Dan tries to engage the golems, does he still have his skull? Yeah, he does. Yeah. It looks like he's trying to shaft him up.
There we go.
So the big question is, it's a fish finger sandwich, obviously with salt and vinegar and ketchup. It's very nice. It is like the cricket. It's all the important commentary. You got to talk about what you have a feeling.
Priorities. So the mortars are 115 points each.
So he can get back to it.
2,300. Since they are playing 2,300 points,
there we go.
You have to win by 230, right?
Yeah. So you can get into a draw range by doing that.
Yeah. And they'll be out of line of sight of the grotesque, so they're pretty much in a safe spot there.
Mm-hmm.
The half breed over here probably won't be able to see them because once he turns, he'll be looking at them.
Yep.
And with just one wound on him, they're not really afraid of a couple of wounds that a hexcaster will do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That does make it so that golems can commit, though.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I will not accept that. Fish finger sandwiches is the staple of a gourmet diet.
Sam, pigeons and biscuits are my dear old thing. My dear old thing, Sam. My dear old thing.
How can you not like a fish finger sandwich?
It's Australian.
No, it's true.
We've got quite a few viewers.
We do.
We had it to 40 odd at one point. I thought it was 50 odd.
Yeah, usually live viewers so far we've had in the 20s for most matches. So I don't know if it's a time zone difference or the player.
Clearly, it's me eating the sandwich. Just bringing the viewers in.
That's what everyone's here for.
It's going viral.
Teased
right
them
now.
long enough.
Yeah.
The viewers are going to drop off drastically as soon as you're done eating. So eat slow.
Okay, we came here to see what we wanted to see.
So on a turn 6, I think this is. It's looking like it's Jeff's game to lose at this point.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just going to ban Matt Croger from the King's War Fanatics.
So this is Dan doing his shooting.
This is interesting.
What do you think of the skull charging the grotesque versus Bane chaining?
It doesn't. I don't think you need any more Bane chant on those knights. There's quite a lot of damage on.
I agree. I think if he does that combat first and does a damage, at least then he knows, doesn't he?
Yeah.
How we can reposition fairly safely.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always the option to corkscrew around it. Individuals don't actually block that much when you do corkscrews.
With a large cavalry horde, he can only do 90 degrees even against an individual.
Oh, is it quite close?
Yeah. Against other ones, he has more leeway, but those guys are just so big that you only have 0.6 millimeters of clearance when you pivot.
Right.
So
it's pretty much safe.
McNeil's just chewed through the cannon.
Yep.
Mortar,
And the mounted suns should as well, unless we
Yeah.
see snakes.
Oh, that's what I want, but yeah.
So there's a lot
Talk
of points
about
in them.
the beards. Yeah, Mike definitely has the better beard. Mine does not grow right here for whatever reason. It tries to force me into a Fu Manchu.
And there goes the last of the mortars.
Yeah. So that's 230 points back.
Yeah.
So now we're back in the draw range.
We're definitely right back in that draw range. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't say I disagree with that. It's also like
no. You don't pile drive through a table, because then you end up on the concrete as well. You choke slam through a table, so then you're still standing. Come on, man.
Yeah, so it's taking the hard off.
And there goes the grotesque. Or the
Has the skull attacked yet?
No.
No.
So that was a mistake doing it that way around, I think, because now you don't know.
Now you don't know.
Yeah.
Where to face. Yeah. I think he got excited. Or he'll just do that.
Ooh.
Oh, that was risky.
Yeah.
Super risky.
That is risky. That was
check-
silly, was that? Oh, he's checking.
He's checking to see.
How far he's got to
What
go
he
to get
need.
out. Yeah.
Well, the
Yeah,
thing
he's
is, if
putting a
he
lot of-
goes that far, then even
He's
if the
getting
skull
flanked.
hits, he can actually be corkscrewed then.
He's putting a lot of faith in that skull, though. That was a really silly mistake, I think, doing it that way around.
And the grotesques corkscrew? I thought they were too
They
long.
can. They have a 0.6 millimeter difference.
They do? Okay.
So just
barely. And that's why they can't get around the skull if they are disordered, is they can pretty much only go 90 degrees.
2 attacks on 5s. That's a lot of faith in skull.
That was a lot to ask. Yeah, he really, really should have done that.
5s and 5s.
Yeah. He might be kicking himself right now for not doing it first.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to the Abyssal Champion on the bottom? Did he get shot?
I think he tried to shoot at this other half-breed instead
Oh, okay.
for some reason. And then I think his conclaves missed. I think maybe he was trying to get greedy and get them both, but
Okay, so Jeff's turn 6.
oh wow.
just held there, is it?
Yeah, I guess so. Giving him a hindered flank charge.
So is that a double flank, or is that flank front?
Well, I'm
Just check the
denied.
arc of the. It's a double flank.
No, it's
Or
a
was it
front.
maybe it's a front?
It's a front to flank.
Right.
Sam,
You
you're
take it,
right.
don't you,
It's 0.4 millimeters,
You
not
take
0.6.
it in turn, yeah.
So if they kill this unit, at this point, do you just non-engage if you're Dan? Because all he would have is a single mounted sun against a fresh golem hold.
Yeah, at this point, you run away, I think, with the mountain suns.
You are still up on points, so when he kills those matted suns, it'll still be a draw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Where's
you
Magnhild? She anywhere she can pick points up?
She picked
No,
up that
she's
other
all the way
mortar.
on the right.
Yeah,
she's
she's way over here.
above the pond.
Yeah, she picked up that other mortar
no,
over
she
there.
can't get the Hexcaster, can she?
It looks like the only way we're going to see something other than a draw is if the
It's double one.
if something happens with the conclaves or double one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the,
the failed kill, yeah.
the conclaves and the Magus down here managed to pick off that half-breed champ. It might give just enough points to pop him over. So we'll see what he gets for his regen. That's going to be the one with 2 wounds, getting none. We're looking for the 4 die roll for the one at the bottom to see whether it gets those back or not. He's of course going to charge one of the conclaves. Does it really matter which one at this point?
I would just go ahead and go after the wounded one, unless
Yeah,
you want to try to pick him off on both weakness.
Yeah, actually, he could go after the fresh one with the half-breed and then send this Hexcaster back around the forest to try to kill the other one with weakness. Yeah, pick them both up.
Which is what he's doing, I think, by the look of it.
Yeah.
It does look like that's what he's doing.
Yeah. Those are, I mean, they're 110 points. He's just got to get to 230.
Looks like he saved the wound.
He got one wound, yeah. But if he picks up both the conclaves, then he doesn't really have anything to worry about because the lightning bolt alone is probably not going to do enough wounds for that half-breed.
No.
All right.
If he picks up both conclaves, is that enough points to take him clear of a win?
Yeah,
Yes.
it might be. If he gets that and the Mounted Suns, then yeah, I think so.
So that has to
get
be
with all
something.
those.
We'll send that one over to
I say you
Witness.
should get it. There's a lot of fives there. It's all hitting on fives, isn't it?
Except the half-breed, yeah. We'll come down to the dice. It's probably his last unit to move there. He moved that Hexcaster, so we're guessing he's probably going to weakness the Mounted Suns in the open to make sure that when they come in on the bottom of 6, they don't pop either the Grotesques or the Golems, if he decides to.
Yeah.
Tell you what,
Well, I mean, the thing is,
sorry.
I say even fresh, the Mounted Suns and unhindered aren't in danger for the golems unless he gets a flank or a rear in this case.
There we go. The weakness.
If he does manage to get weakness off there, now we'll see if he can get
Mhm.
if he can get enough to polish off the Magus Conclave.
No, one hit.
It's the one hit, but one wound.
Could do it.
Does put them at 8, and they are 11-13, and they are inspired. So they need a 5 twice?
Twice.
He's lost all his mortars, so I think that's all his shooting.
Nope. It's fine.
Yeah.
It is a waiver.
It is a waiver, but
Yeah.
So
If it's a 7.
it doesn't get to shoot at the half-breed champ next turn with a
That's
waiver.
true. No, that's
So that'll help that half-breed champ stick around.
But that's potentially enough to keep it a draw.
Yeah. Yeah,
unless there's a 7.
unless there's a 7, right?
7, yeah.
Yeah,
I think
so that,
a turn 7.
and 3.
Turn 7 favours Jeff quite a lot, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah, so that 3 of a nerve roll on that one Magus Conclave might end up being the thing that keeps us a draw.
The Magus Conclave in general is
Okay.
really saving Dan because that's twice it
10
lives
hits.
where it probably should have died.
It's 10 hits in the flank from the golems. And
5.
only 3 wounds. Oh, they're crushing 2, yeah, so 5 wounds.
5 wounds.
5 wounds, and he's got his vicious. So 8 wounds already. So you're already looking at 9.
9. Yeah. And the Mounted Suns are 15-17. And there's still the Grotesque in the front and the half-breed champ on the side.
Yeah, it's dead. It should be.
7
Should be
hits.
7 hits, yep.
I'm happy
four
for
is the wound. Like 4s, no, they'll need 3s to win, right?
Yeah, 3s
Yeah.
because crush 1.
Yeah,
under
crush 1,
2.
thunderous 1.
Oh, there's 1 still, yep. And then there's his vicious reroll. And then the half-breed just for good measure.
Of course. Right,
And with brutal,
double 1. We are feeling it.
Yeah. Double
It's gonna happen.
one. Snakes twice, and yep, big scared one.
Yeah, not this time.
All right,
So that's another, what, 225?
225. Yeah,
I think you can angle better there to get in the trees, but maybe not.
I don't think.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
I don't think you take that charge, do you? I think you run
No.
away, or you charge the hexcaster in the woods if you're in range.
Yeah. Take the points.
Take the points, preserve yours. I mean, what's interesting here is that I'm guessing that the players aren't, calculating as they go along. So they might have no idea how close it is. It looks close.
Yeah. Jeff is only up by 90 points.
Yeah.
And honestly, it looks like Jeff has a bigger lead than he does.
It does, and so I won't be surprised if Dan thinks that he's losing, not drawing.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's one of the hard
that's
things
good.
about kill. It's a lot harder to keep track.
yeah, it's a really bad scenario.
So we've just lost another conclave on the
Just
bottom
lost the
there.
other maze conclave, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's going to be another 110 points.
Trash.
So shy of getting out of the draw.
Still
range, though.
30 points shy of a win.
Question is, does Dan know this? That's
Yeah, because I feel like if Dan knows that it's a draw right now,
he won't
plays
take
it
the
safe.
charge.
But if he thinks he's losing, he might try a
Banzai, yeah.
hinder charge against golems.
It's such a bad idea. Your weakness as well. I mean, that's not a good charge. I think Elliot's right. Go for the Hexcaster. And then everything shoots.
Talking about
out.
the one in the bottom
woods.
floors, right?
Yeah. And then shoot everything you've got at the half-breed.
And hope
And see
If he has that range, that's definitely I feel like one of his only options, and that might even be a better option than anything because it gives him out of line of sight of everything.
give him.
I don't think he's got the speed to run. Otherwise, well, they might do actually. If he turns 90 degrees left and goes 8 inches,
Yeah,
he probably gets out of range.
yeah,
of
he
the
should be able to
gun.
get. Mm-hmm.
And McNeil's not really done much.
No, she's not. She's been a threat all game, but she's in the end kind of whiffed.
Yeah.
I mean, she killed a 100 and odd point war engine.
Oh, and she killed the half-breed as well, didn't she, eventually?
Yeah.
Was
They
it
killed
her?
their half-breed, killed a war engine.
Yeah, she made her points back, hasn't she?
Yeah, always back, yeah.
She's maybe not been the threat she could have been, bouncing around.
Yeah,
And
and honestly, there wasn't great targets for her this game.
no,
Yeah.
she doesn't want to be going to these hordes, especially when everything was so clogged up, because they could easily countercharge and then spin around again in time.
Yeah,
So I don't think the Mounted Suns can quite reach the Hexcaster in the woods.
Oh no, that's just out.
It's just out. Wow. Yeah. So if you're Dan and you know the score at this point, you're hoping there's no turn 7 and it stays a draw because you can't.
Yeah.
Because if you commit those Mounted Suns in anything, they're probably going to die to the counter charge. Otherwise, you have to get them
Now-
out of sight.
Dan hasn't done anything yet, so I'm guessing he's got a calculator out on his list, Jeff's list.
yeah.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, he could go for this Hexcaster, but I don't think the overrun would take him into anything. Puts himself.
It's
at
also
risk.
it's
Well,
not,
the
it's
thing
not
is,
safe
if
enough
he
killing it.
fails,
Yeah, if he fails,
Yeah.
he'd be hindered.
Yeah. And we
They
can.
still-
Yeah, so you're looking, and I think that's his defense 5, aren't they?
But I guess he does
think
still
so,
have his
yeah.
Scald with Bane Chant back here, so he could Bane Chant them at least once they got in the woods. But yeah,
No, the Scald is actually no, yeah, the Scald's alive. That's true.
yeah, he's alive and he's got the loot.
was ignored, wasn't it, last turn?
So I mean, if they get a turn 7, then the half-breed champ could try to pick up the Scald.
Yeah, turn 7 is massively in Jeff's favour.
Yeah.
Because that's
Oh.
another conquer. Well,
No, don't
Whoa.
charge him. You have
Don't
an
charge!
axe.
No,
You have an
No,
axe. You have
no.
piercing on the axe.
just throw it. Yeah. Oh no! Oh no!
That's why I love these commentaries. It's like, oh, what are you doing?
No, go the other way. Yeah,
the other left.
other left.
It's always good to coach the UK #1 as well. You know, it's
It is.
Yeah.
Right.
To be fair, we haven't lost to Jeff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Neither Dan
yeah.
yet, you know.
Hey, I'm
Neither Dan yet.
I'm unbeaten in singles this season.
Yeah.
I think. I'll have to check. But...
So is that Magnild's?
Yeah. Trying to figure out if there's something he can do with her.
Yeah. So Jeff has just the one objective, I think. I don't think he's got any opportunity to get another one.
Yeah, now he's got this one in the woods.
So if it does go to a draw, it'll be a winning draw.
Yeah, by 1 point.
I'm fairly certain they'll be on the same bracket in terms of extra points of kill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Mega's Conclaves don't have any unit strength, so he can't
No.
pull that one down the bottom yet.
Which way you? I think you move the knights and put them onto an objective if you can, or get close to an objective.
I don't
Yeah.
think you can.
There's none within range for turn 6 at least.
No.
You might be able to set up a turn 7.
Can you get that one in the middle? How far is that?
There's one, I think, is the one on the Hexcaster? I can't tell if it's
There's 118 inches away. We need a pivot, so you don't pivot. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't do it.
Yeah. Can't do it this turn.
Yeah.
He's thinking about it.
You can almost
Someone
hear the
phone-
cogs. You can
Someone
hear the
phone
cogs
Dan and
all the
start
way
getting him the
in
slow clap.
Yeah, but if you turn those mounted suns and walk them towards one of those objectives, and there's a turn 7, then you get flanked.
There we
he's
go.
going in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he thinks he either thinks he's losing
behind.
or he doesn't. Yeah,
Well, he doesn't care.
or doesn't care. Yeah.
So now throwing that Scald into the half-breed looks even worse, because now he's not available to Bane Champ them. So now you got a hindered and weakened charge coming in.
I think he might have struggled though to get a line of sight on them. Because obviously
I think we're going to
quite a way
to
around.
get line of sight.
Possibly, yeah. He
I
might
mean,
have had to.
He shouldn't have charged anyway. He should have thrown it back at him. But
Right.
Yeah, you're looking at hitting on 4s and wounding on. I'm
No,
doing
maybe not,
okay,
maybe
guys.
not.
Well, here we go.
What am I doing?
Okay, are we just checking that he's not actually watching the YouTube commentary at any point?
At some point, I'm sure the players
Very
will be like,
naughty,
"I'm doing
Dan."
something just obviously daft, just to give the commentator something to complain about, and then put it back and giggle at himself.
Don't do that!
Give you something fun to check out when you watch the replay later.
Yeah.
To see whether every time you tried to bait the commentators it worked or not.
He's doing it.
Oh man. Oof. Ugh.
I mean, I don't think he knows. I think he's.
He must not, because at this point, like a turn 7 very much favors Jeff.
Yeah.
Him putting those suns like right, just serving them up for him on a platter right there if they get a turn 7.
Yeah.
So, John Elliott, are lists like Dan's common in the UK, or is that more of a Dan thing?
This is a very Dan list. It's not uncommon. Dan plays it very well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, normally with Dan, one thing you're not seeing here is he really likes his flying monsters.
I was about to say, it's got chimeras. That would be I could see. Oh, it's hold on chimera.
Yeah, he would normally have 2 regiments of infantry for holding objectives. So it's a similar style list. Dan favours very aggressive, very punchy lists. I've never seen him take infantry hordes or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that tends to be, Dan's absolutely a fantastic player. But I think some of the reasons maybe he's not won a Clash of Kings recently or not won a Masters is that these kind of lists, they don't take bad dice well. And you only need 1 or 2 spike rolls. And it doesn't matter how good a player you are, something will get taken off and it's a huge deal.
Yeah, 2 damage.
And I think in a 5 or 6 game tournament, that's bound to happen eventually. And I think that's just been the issues for him recently. Because, like I say, he is a very good player and arguably, the best player in the UK. Sort of.
Oh, and we got to turn 7.
That's it.
Go.
We got to turn 7, so that'll probably flip it over to Jeff. Oof.
Yeah, this should be a win now.
Oof. Jeff just needs to pick up 30 points. Yep. To turn into a win.
And I think he's going to get a bit more than that.
Probably, yeah, because he should definitely get that Magus Conclave.
Mm-hmm. He should get the Conclave, and he should get the...
And he could potentially get both half-breeds into the Majors.
That looks too far.
Let me see.
Yes, that's too fair.
So he just punch the Scald.
Just kill a Scald instead.
Yeah. Yeah. Cast weakness, I guess, on the Suns with this guy to see if you can add a wound or two.
Yeah.
You try to get this guy in position to do the same thing. You got to get him all the way around to get line of sight, though.
I think you go for the Conclave and then charge the Magus.
Go for the Conclave. Yeah. Yeah, go for the Conclave.
Yeah,
because it's already got 8 on it. You just got to get one more wound on it.
Yeah.
And then charge the Magus with the wounded half-breed champ. See if you can pick them all up. And that would leave only Magnild on the table.
I know it's going.
Again,
I suppose I'm guessing that Jeff also doesn't know how close it is.
Yep.
Actually, seeing as you need the points to tip the win, you're probably better to go charge there. It's more guaranteed.
There's his regen rolls, picking up 1 wound off of them. But yeah, that lightning bolt on its own isn't really going to do anything. And here, yep, countercharging. The half-breed onto the Scald.
If you could get both weaknesses onto the Scald, that should be pretty easy to pick up.
Yep. And I think he just regen both wounds off of that other half-breed. I think that's what that roll was. The half-breed that charged the Scald. Yep, and I guess now he's deciding what to do with his last Hexcaster. You try to put a wound on the Scald to help pick that up, or do you try to go after the Magus with it?
It's a hard kill. I would probably go on the Scald for what it's worth.
Yeah, just to get the ones.
I would. On the top one, I would definitely go for the Mountain of Suns. You just want to make sure there, don't you? That's probably a tournament point in itself is killing them. If it tips you over to the next, the next band.
Nope.
Yep. So here comes the Hexcaster.
Yep.
One Skull gets 1 hit, manages 1 wound.
Yep.
Every little bit will help.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the bigger one here. 3 hits there.
Of course, the Australians are going to be horrifically bad on this one, aren't they? Just
no wounds from the other Hexcaster on the Mounted Suns, so the Grotesques and Golems will have to take care of it without any assistance. Don't know if they needed it. 1 counter charge, 1 hinder charge might be enough. And all right, let's see if this really stubborn Conclave down here can finally die.
it's trying hard not to.
It's trying very hard not to.
That's vicious.
Yeah. Surely that'll do it. 5 more damage. It's only defense 3, isn't it? So it's 2s.
Yeah. That should definitely put it on snakes, but it is still inspired, so he will need snakes twice.
Yeah, gone.
Super dead.
That'll do it. Yep. That's going to be another 110 points for Jeff, and that will put him over.
think that's a pretty safe win already, isn't it? Even with Dan's turn 7, even if it doesn't kill these, I don't see the Mountain of Suns killing anything.
Yeah, probably not. Oh, do you pick up the Scald? Or is he still working on it?
Yeah, it was just nope, double 1.
Oh, stay. Okay.
That's what he needs
Didn't
later
need
on.
it. Yeah.
All right, so let's see if we can pick up these Mounted Suns. Kind of a big deal here, because if we fix them up, then there's really nothing for Dan to even try to do on his turn 7.
Definitely game over. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's probably already game over. I don't see how the Mountain Sun Regiment can kill either of those. Oh, is that 3 to damage as well?
Three
No.
wounds with the vicious rerolls there.
5, I think, into total.
Ooh. That's only 7 hits.
And it's a little low.
Ooh.
3, so 3 more.
Um,
Oh, no, I'm vicious. 5 more. God, that vicious really does work, doesn't it?
12, so that puts them at, what, 5 once?
Yeah.
And there's an 11.
11.
Yeah.
That's the last regiment of Mounted Suns.
Doesn't really matter at this stage. Just make
Doesn't
sure you
really
don't pivot
matter.
out of the 3 inches of the objective.
Yep. I'm taking scores there. Yeah, so now he has a Disordered Scald, he has Magnilled, and he has a Magus
Magus.
left.
What could go wrong?
He's got it in his.
I mean,
He's got it in his hands. It's very,
yeah. I think, as we said, the grind was always going to go in favour of Jeff, and
Yep.
he managed to hold it off enough, even with bad rolls, that it got to a stage where Dan couldn't get multiple charges off easily.
Yep.
It does feel a bit like he boxed himself in a little. It was a real shame not killing those dogs sort of early on. That did sort of chuck
Dan
up
didn't kill
over
the
there.
dogs, but then
The double
Jeff
one
had
was
the snake eyes. So
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
feel like that's roughly an even trade.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, I mean, the thing is, with the kill scenario, there's no reason for Jeff to leave the forest. So no matter what, Dan was going to have to engage him in the woods.
So windmills come flying in.
Why not? At this stage.
Yeah, there's literally nothing they can do. And, I mean, if he can manage, what was it, 3 wounds, then he has an outside chance.
Yeah. All he's got to do is just do 7 out of 7 damage.
The,
Any minute now, sinks can get thrown in as well.
yeah,
Yeah. Is a 6 always a wound?
it is. For
okay.
weakness,
Yeah.
6 always wounds, so
So
charging
the weakened
the-
fold.
yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So final lightning bolt on the half breed.
Yeah. Two more damage.
Yeah.
Oh! Ah, there you go.
Yeah. But he tried. So I think even if Magnil breaks these now, it's still not enough to pull it from a win, is it?
No.
Or is it? No, it's not.
Might be a
No, by about 5 points. No.
Yeah.
no, yeah, just shy of changing it to a draw.
So see if you can do 7 out of 7 damage. The Scald missed. What did I hit? Didn't do one.
All right, so for 6 hits, Elite picks up 7 hits.
7 hits.
Falls. No, 4 damage. Well, they're in.
I mean, there's a chance.
What is it? 11 twice?
Need 11 twice, yeah.
Yeah.
There.
No.
Yeah.
No, very good game, guys.
All right. So that will pretty much do it. We are pretty sure that's going to be, yep, and there's Dan conceding. So that is going to be a win for Jeff.
And I think he's got 1 bonus point.
For 1 objective, I think. Yep.
For scenario, yeah.
Yep. So we're expecting them back here soon to do a little bit of wrap up.
Right, guys, thank you very much. I'm afraid I'm going to have to leave you now. And
All right, we'll see you tomorrow for your game, Elliot. Good luck with
yeah,
that.
I'll look forward to it. I'm going to go sit away and just, do a bit of list theory now. What's
Yeah.
the worst possible list?
Meditating needs.
Don't forget to send me your list when you're done.
Will do. I'm going to go train on a mountain, but obviously while social distancing.
Sure.
See you, Elliot.
Right, guys, thank you very much. I'll see you later.
Yep. Bye.
Cheers, mate.
So they're probably totaling up their numbers right now. I'm trying to figure out the exact scores, but that is definitely going to be a very clear win to Jeff. So what do we think here? What are we going to want to ask these guys when they get in here?
What they feel about the kill scenario, for one thing.
For starters.
I know Matt wanted Jeff to go a little bit more into his army list design, being different from what he normally takes.
To be fair, I think both players, what influence Kill had on their list design, because it's not a typical Dan. The style's very similar, but Dan normally has heavy flyers in there. So
I think that heavy flyers was more of he was thinking Jeff would bring the war machines.
Yeah, and you don't want things that are too tall, too easy to see.
But I think the kill definitely influenced the Magus conclaves. He might have taken something else, like more Thunder Wolves or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, there was a couple of swings there in the game, I think. Certainly the Snake Eyes in the middle, that set up a lot of good charges for Dan in the middle of the game. Kind of had
the Black Souls getting into charge range with both of them.
On the hill. Yeah.
That seemed like a really big turning point.
And the double one, the grotesques, explode the grotesques, but then it's weird stuff like the Dan decision to go sideways with that unit and then block his own unit in. It was a bit weird.
Yeah, I think that was a pretty big pivotal moment, because otherwise that unit could have went ahead and engaged golems as well. And I think that would have helped Dan start to sweep. Actually, that might have been the biggest mistake of the game, really, if you think about it. Because if those guys could turn left, then at the very least they're charging heavy mortar and being closer to the golems and more engaged. Because after that, those guys only killed the dogs, another mortar, and I
think came in a bit left. Yeah.
What's up, Dan?
All right, guys, welcome back.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
So congrats to Jeff on the win. I don't know if you guys were keeping track of the score as you were going, but for the last third or so of the game, it was a draw, and then only tipped over to Jeff's side at the very end.
If we hadn't had turn 7, it would have been a draw. I had a very slight chance to pull it back to a draw on my turn 7, but didn't happen.
So I was curious, with turn 7 and turn 6, with it already being a draw, what was your thought process on charging this Mountain Suns in?
Well, it was already a draw, and I didn't do the maths specifically, but if we hadn't have had a turn 7, I didn't really do the maths. It was never really going to kill them. The idea was get a bit of damage on and then Magnilled in the flank on the turn after, and then it might have been enough, but it didn't do enough damage.
Yeah.
I possibly should have held back, but you see, even if I'd held back, he still would have been able to charge with both units, although we both would have then been hindered. It only would have made a difference of maybe 1 or 2 damage. I decided to risk it for the slight gamble with the increase for my turn. If we did, it obviously didn't pay off. But
did you even consider just bugging out and moving 90 and running 8 inches the other way?
I considered maybe I should have done. No, I'm too aggressive a player.
Yeah, earlier tonight, Bill said that process. You thought about it and gone, nah.
Yeah, I just wanted to kill his unit. Like I was just thinking if I can just get in, get Magnilled in. Magnilled did really well on that last turn. But if I probably should have waited for a clean charge, maybe one, but no, because he still would have been. I don't know.
Yeah.
But,
Right. And Jeff, we were watching along. It seemed like your shooting kind of underperformed this game. Obviously, facing an all stealthy army hurts
I
that.
got 1 hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 hit.
Yeah, waters. Yeah, it didn't go too good, and I think I failed 3 of the weakness ones on 3 dice, but they still chipped away, and they made a big difference in the game.
Okay. And for us, it seemed like there was a pretty big turning point there in the middle with the snake eyes against the chaff unit in the middle that set up a bunch of charges for Dan. After like, how did you feel after that happened and the following turn, Jeff? Did you feel like you were on the back foot at that point, or?
Definitely, yeah. Well, I looked across the board and he still had all 6 cav on the board. So
I was happy at that point.
Yeah. Knowing that the grotesques were going down. I felt on the back foot. You can only do what you can do. Whatever little battles you can win, even if you can't win the war, you'll still go on. So I might, even if I didn't double 1 there, I'm not sure of my positioning afterwards. I know I could block with the dogs, the ones coming off the hill, but then I would probably. I'm not sure if I could stop the other one coming in from the other side through the forest. So I'm not 100% sure whether I might have lost it anyway.
I'd actually like to take a step back even further. So we something if you watched the matchup cast, we were wondering then why you didn't deploy mounted suns on the far right to kind of come in at an angle. And then it ended up being about the same anyway because you were able to charge the Black Souls and get to where you would have been.
I just like the idea of grouping everything together. As I say, I tried splitting them up in the previous game and it didn't work out. So I was thinking I've just an entire section, the fused flank as much as possible. It mostly worked. I mean, in retrospect, I wasn't really happy with the conclaves in that bloody field because they were forever hitting on 60s, and that halfway would have been dead ages ago if it hadn't been for that. Of course, that was actually a turning point for the game that would have made it a draw. If Magnild had picked the other half breed and had killed that one, then actually I would have been able to protect them. So in retrospect, just that one different charge would have turned it back into, probably back into a draw, and possibly to a victory for me because they then would have been shooting potentially. So, yeah. I also
whenever you change one thing, it changes the whole game.
Yeah, I also missed the fact that after killing the half breed, if I'd backed up D3 and actually got a decent roll, I would have then been in charge range of the other one, but I didn't. So, bother.
And then Jeff, I felt like in the beginning of the deployment, like refuse flank seems like what Abyssal Dwarves want to do.
Yeah.
But then he got the charge on the Black Souls and was sitting on the hill out of line of sight.
Yeah.
Looking back to did you see that charge coming? Did you think that he would still be in line of sight?
My initial one was I put the half breed on the hill so he could charge off the hill, being crushing 3. But then I changed my mind. But I'd already moved the Black Souls up on the hill, so the initial idea was charge into the cav, bring them up, but they were, because of their short bloody legs, I couldn't make it down to hit them anyway. So, yeah, I didn't see the double charge on them. I saw the one.
Mhm.
And I thought, with weakness, I got a good chance of holding that. And
Yeah.
if I can hold them, I can then come back with the half breed if I needed to anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a mistake giving up the double charge there.
It was one of those ones that we on Universal Battle we were looking at the charge arc, and we say no, there's definitely green. It was is it inside or the outside of the charge arc line that's the marker? But we could definitely see green, so it was like okay, it's out. But it's only ones you can see on Universal Battle. You could never get that accuracy anywhere
There
else.
was a number of the charges me and Daniel were looking at that were right down the line.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of very fine movement in there.
That was,
Yeah, I
it was
felt-
definitely a very tight game. It was definitely a very exciting game.
was.
Thanks so much for letting us watch.
Because there's a few points where
you know, it was a good game when I felt like the whoever's turn it was the one who had the upper hand.
I just wish we hadn't had a turn 7. I was quite happy at the end of 6. I wouldn't have minded.
You know, at first you wanted turn 7, and I'm thinking to myself, it's not going to be good for you.
Nothing there.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Jeff, apparently there's a big parade organised for you in Australia. So, obviously, by big parade in this environment means there's 2 people allowed. But
Exactly. Yeah, no,
What can
my
you say?
phone's been pinging like 100. I haven't looked at it yet, but yeah, I know a few of the Aussie players will be happy.
there's been a lot of comments on the YouTube channel. Yeah.
Oh, has
Jeff,
it?
Jeff played really well. Well done.
It was a good
So
game.
did Daniel. It was one of those games that could have gone either way.
That's what we like to see going to the last turn.
I thought it was interesting where we had the various roadblocks, and of course I bounced on the left flank. I thought I'd killed dogs in one go. It was like, oh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But then, of course, you ended up getting stuck, and then I also made a mistake at one point where I moved my knights sideways because I was thinking, well, okay, but then it ended up blocking the pivot of the other unit, so I caused issues. So it was like, my initial reaction was I was going to go back, and I changed my mind at the last second. And it was like, oh, well, I probably should have done that.
Yeah, I think that was a pretty big turning point because that kind of took those knights out. All they could kill was dogs and then a mortar. For
Exactly.
The rest of the game.
Oh well.
Yeah.
All right, so thanks again so much for letting us watch your game, guys.
Pleasure.
Congrats to Jeff, and best luck to both of you in the next rounds of the tournament.
Cheers.
Yeah,
All right, I'd like to thank-
more games. So
Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody at home for watching along.
together again.
And I'd also like to thank John and Patrick and Elliot for commentating with us. Coming up next on Dash 28 Live tomorrow, we will have Elliot Morrish versus Shannon Shoemaker. So this will be our opportunity to talk about Elliot behind his back like he's been doing to everybody else for the last 2 games. So tune in for that. It should be extra special fun. That'll be tomorrow afternoon, U.S. East Coast time. So that's going to be 8 p.m. British Standard Time, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. And that, of course, will be tomorrow. There'll be some posts announcing that coming soon, so look for those. Other than that,
you guys can now go back to bed.
pretty much, yeah. I'm gonna go curl up and try to get a couple hours nap.
I need to the pint.
Yes.
I've
Looks
actually
like
got
you-
my call to arms games up next, so
Oh wow. Okay. Looks like you go back to do some practice shooting as well, John. You've got your targets behind you.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
All right, thanks everybody.
Cheers, guys.
We'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.